I could never date a smoker. Like, no offense to anybody out there. I won't do it.
I can imagine sitting next to someone I am in love with and have some fat shame a woman while being big themselves. You can't appreciate about fat shaming, but allow your partner to fat shame someone in front of thousands of people laughing about it is just as bad as making the comment yourself. I have really never stuck up for from when it comes to her weight, the shaming, the hate, and her marriage. Hearing Salah make a fat joke and Chantel laughing afterwards while crying. Fat shaming is like a giant parody to me. Chantel, this isn't even about me at this point. Do you have respect for yourself? If Salah feel this way about me, do you ever wonder if you secretly feel this way about you?
You need to sit by yourself and you need to think about what you did.
Yes, but also what's more important is that you love and respect me.
I don't think so.
I started watching your vlog when Becky was doing paranormal story times. Loved it. That was a sad moment in history, I feel like.
I don't have those. I mean, I think I told you guys all the paranormal stories I had.
No.
I didn't tell
Remember, you filmed 3 videos and people were haters. Made you feel bad, so we didn't upload the 3rd one. Oh. But I don't remember which stories we uploaded. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, we did. We filmed a whole video and then you were just like,
yeah, okay, we filmed 3 and then
Nowadays, I wouldn't give a crap and I would tell you to put it up anyways because I don't care.
No.
But some weird things have happened here. Very brief things. Just twice, though. So. What?
I don't believe in stuff like that.
Amberlynn, you're the one that witnessed one of them, honey.
Hi.
Come on.
Hi.
Wake up.
Oh, my God. Oh, such a cuddle bug.
Oh, my goodness.
Ooh. Okay, I don't want you to rip my shirt.
Oh, yeah. You do not
dress.
want to get her nails caught in that. Because that would hurt.
Hi everyone, welcome back to another live stream. I hope you're all having a good day today. Angel Cat, hello, welcome. Yes, I did make all those edits from a lot of Amberlynn's videos. I put them all together and had her say all those words. Yeah, all those little clips. That was a project, but it was fun. It was something different. Janelle, it's been such a long time. I hope you're doing well. Okay, so today we're a few days behind, I guess. Maybe almost a week. But it's never too late. We can always look back on this stuff. And maybe there's some new things in here that you guys didn't know or didn't see. So I thought we could watch Amberlynn's response to Emily's messages that she sent to Mr. Snowflake. And luckily, Amberlynn read pretty much all of them, so I'm not going to have to read them all off. She's going to read them for us. And then she's going to have her responses in there too. Angel Cat, it's just like public relations, you know? Positive PR. Yeah, okay, so Amberlynn's live stream was pretty interesting. And Mr. Snowflake's video was yeah, it was interesting too. But there was like a lot of things in there that Amberlynn corrected that, like, I don't know, you can tell they're both kind of fibbing through this. Ugh, excuse me. So it's like, who do you want to, it's kind of like you have, well, I guess you don't really have to believe either of them, but there's like a story in there somewhere. The truth is in there somewhere, but I guess all I can really do is present the evidence that we found. Thanks to everyone leaking everything. But yeah, Amberlynn shared a photo, and I put it on my community post the other day, and it's of Emily's arm before, or no, right after they fought. It was sorry, that's not what I meant to say. Amberlynn fell on Emily, and while they were arguing, that's what I meant to say. And so Emily sent her a picture of her arm, saying like, "Oh, this is where Emily." No, this is where Amberlynn grabbed me, but then Amberlynn says, well, that's where I grabbed onto her to try to keep us from falling. And like Amberlynn says she tripped over a rug. And her story's kind of more believable, I feel like, than Emily's of Amberlynn deliberately was charging at her and was with the intentions of coming at her rather than it just being kind of a accident. But anyway, so a few days later, Emily sends a picture of her arm again, and Amberlynn says there's like fresh marks, and she said she didn't do that to her like that day, so she doesn't understand why she's showing her this. And like Emily has tattoos, so you can kind of tell where the marks were. So they're kind of hard to see. You kind of have to like make your own judgment on it, because it's yeah, it's not like super visible. Janelle. Yeah, well, so all right, well, let's just wait to the video and you'll see my response to that too, of if we can see Amberlynn possibly charging at Emily during the fight. Yeah, we have some evidence that might have happened in the past. Yeah, so I put together a video of Amberlynn's live stream and Mr. Snowflake's conversation with Emily, and Amberlynn's reading them all. But I like played with the video a little bit, so there's you'll see who's talking, whose messages is whose. And there is some parts that she doesn't read, so I'll probably have to stop and read that. So if you're listening, you can know what the messages say. All right, so I'm gonna start the video now. Here we go.
You have lied and lied. You have shamed me. You have made me feel guilty for wanting to lose weight. You have
Yeah, sorry, let's start that again.
lied and lied and lied. You have fat shamed me. You have made me feel guilty for wanting to lose weight. You have cheated on me. You have made me feel like shit. You have used your late fiance as a weapon. You have literally talked to an ex behind my back, hid those notifications from me. And then when I found out, I was distraught. I have been destroyed over and over and over again because of you. And I have had to take the heat because of you repeatedly. Over and over and over. It's crazy. I have loved you publicly. You wanted our love to be private, but you hated me publicly while with me in a relationship. That's not normal behavior for anybody.
Okay, so I forgot to mention too that I have this video pinned at the top of the chat, so if you wanted to watch the video on its own, you can watch it. This is just us watching it together. But yeah, it's on Daily Motion. All right, so this is how Mr. Snowflake reached out to Emily. Oopsie daisy, hello, welcome. I'm glad you can make it. All right, so he says, "Hi Emily, hope all is well. What made you want to come out now and discuss your time with Amber?" So I'm wondering if maybe Emily messaged him first, because it just seems kind of weird that he would just say that, but that wasn't in his video, so this is what we have. And I think someone mentioned before too that it seemed like, I can't remember where I saw it. It could have been in Amberlynn's live feed, but it seems like and I think Amberlynn said it herself too, that he might have cut some of the messages out. Maybe just for time's sake, and they weren't really the juicy ones. I don't know, but this is what we have. So I think Amberlynn's gonna read us the next one.
Emily's response. Honestly, I was content staying silent for a long time, but you weren't. You weren't silent. What? I was silent. That was me. That was me. But I'm tired of watching her dodge any real accountability. You are literally the queen of dodging accountability. For you to say sorry,
Okay, right. So while you're watching this too, it's very interesting. If you were to put Emily in Amberlynn's place right now, where and Beck in Amberlynn's. So everything Amberlynn's saying, Beck could have said about Amberlynn. It's just so funny when you put it in that, when you see it that way from like Beck's point of view, and the way that Amberlynn's talking to Emily, it almost feels like Beck could be saying these things. I think that's like, kind of, anyway, never mind. Sorry about that. I'm always clicking the wrong button. No sugar. Hello, welcome.
watching her dodge any real accountability. You are literally the queen of dodging accountability. For you to say sorry, random fact, Emily does not know that word. I don't think it's in her vocab. She creates her own reality and expects everyone to play along.
It's kind of funny when Amberlynn looks at the camera and starts saying that. It's almost like she's talking to the mirror, to herself, because she's made those videos before where it's like, Dear Amberlynn, and she's talked about like her hopes and dreams for herself, basically. And she's talking to herself. So it's just kind of funny when she looks at the camera and she knows Emily's watching, because Emily is sending her text messages throughout this live stream too.
Are we describing you right now? The sad part is, and most people do because they're either scared of her and don't want to deal with the drama, but I hit a point where I just couldn't sit back and watch her keep writing the truth. You are not afraid of me. How many times have I said that I'm afraid of
Okay, so I feel like both of them are kind of, I guess you could say the victim and the aggressor. So she's kind of like talking about herself here as well. I keep saying that, but that's just what it seems like in the relationship with Emily too, not just like in general.
you? You're not afraid of me because you've gone public behind my...
Because, like, yeah, it's a very, like, weird thing to tell someone that they're not scared of you when they're saying they are. But I think she's trying to say that, like, she's genuinely doesn't think she is, but she probably is. You know what I mean? Like, it's probably likely that Emily is a little afraid of Amberlynn. But later, Amberlynn will say, well, maybe you're afraid just during my BPD moments. But other than that, I don't think you're afraid of me. And it's like, yeah, no, it just seems like a manipulative thing to do.
Amberlynn, calm down. I'm about to have a BPD meltdown here on live. Can you imagine? Literally, behind my back, you've said awful things about me. You've done it publicly knowing that I would see it. If you were afraid of me, you would have never done those things. Not only that, if you were afraid of me, you would have never verbally abused... I've said that word so many times, this is not going to be monetized. Like, you wouldn't have verbally... Is there another word for that? You wouldn't have verbally... me repeatedly to my face, in text, in Messenger, in this, in that, on FaceTime, on the phone. You wouldn't have done those things if you were afraid of me. You're not afraid of me. There's nothing to be afraid of. There is nothing to be afraid of. Yes, you could be afraid of a BPD meltdown because those can be kind of hecticana. Not gonna lie about it. But you're not afraid of me. That's just easy for you to say to look like the victim. Snowflake replied, well, I'm glad you decided to speak up so I get the money from it. So I guess we start at the beginning. I'm guessing everything was fine at the start of the relationship, or was there any little red flags? Well, there was red flags.
Okay, so when I recorded this, I put it on 1.25 speed. Yeah, I don't think I did 1.5. So if it is a little fast, you can just slow it down in the speed settings on this live stream.
For me, but you know what? I was so fucking blinded by love bombing that I just like, red flags? What? They're in heart shapes though. All the red flags. It's all heart shaped, folks. It's all heart shaped. It's totally fine. And I also see red flags in the shade of pink, so it's cool. Oh, we have a long. Okay. Emily said, at first everything was great. I really thought I had found someone who was kind, laid back, and just fun to be around. She was able to carry on a conversation. It's hard to find these days. Looking back now, I obviously was looking at everything through rose-colored glasses. Wow, that sounds very Amberlynn coded. That sounds very Amberlynn coded, because that's how I feel about you. That is genuinely how I feel about you. She really made it seem like she was a grounded, supportive person. I told her up front I was grieving Colleen and still will be. Yes, that is true. She said she understood and respected that. Yes, that is true. Still do. She said it wouldn't be an issue at all. That is true. That was super important to me for her to be accepting of it. And for a little while, it felt good. We actually had fun together. We laughed, we joked around, and it was chill. I genuinely enjoyed spending time with her before she started showing me who she really was. I would love to hear who that was. I guess it was a typical scenario of love bombing. I stayed the same throughout our whole relationship. Even to the point of all of the betrayals, the lies, the emotional cheating, the deceit, all of it. I stayed the same. I stayed the same. The fact that you can sit there and say that the roller coaster of our relationship that we were in was due to my love bombing and not your unwavering love. That is something that you told me, that I had unwavering love, that I was unwavering in general. And no matter what you put me through, I still stayed the same. That is what you said to me. But you, every day, I did not know what Emily I was going to wake up to. Was it the one that loved me? Was it the one that hated me? Was it the one that just wanted my belly?
She just said that. Oh my gosh, she just said that. Her belly. Emily's got a thing for bellies, if you didn't know.
I never knew. 9 times out of 10, it was the one that hated me, especially towards the end. But I stayed the same. I kissed your ass because I was scared of you. Finally, when my BPD meltdowns, tantrums, whatever the fuck you want to call them, would snap, that's when my fear was gone because I was so heightened and so scared. My fight or flight was fight. The fact that you're turning this around and rewriting this whole thing to make you seem like a victim because my ex Beck might have been.
I can't believe she just said that. Might have been. Like, is that Amberlynn still not taking accountability? Like, still wanting to kind of, like, remove herself from the situation? Of course it is. That's what she does. But that's fine if that's what she wants to do. It's just really, you know, contradictory to what she had said before, but also that's something we're used to from Amberlynn. So, yeah, but it's just kind of weird that she would say that might have been,
You know exactly what you're doing. Tell me why in every one of your relationships you broke up because the arguing was non-stop.
Angel Cat, yes, you're right. Like, Emily is not a well person, you know? She's got her issues that she's got to deal with, and Amberlynn knew that going into the relationship, like, especially just, like, you know, she was still grieving someone, and it wasn't just like, oh, we broke up. It was like, you know, this person's gone forever, so I don't know if Amberlynn thought that she could handle that, but I don't think Amberlynn can handle that because she needs someone to take care of her. And that's what Emily does for a living, I guess. So it would kind of make sense that that's what Emily would have to take on at home as well. And probably didn't want to do that, but also, like, you knew that. You can't, like you'll see through this conversation, like, when Amberlynn says, too, that, like, Emily used to make fat jokes about Amberlynn and stuff. And I think, yeah, we saw that in the live stream that we watched last time, where she was the one she did like during the middle of the night, where she had said that Emily was like making fat jokes. It is like, well, what did you expect when you were going to be with Amberlynn? You can't make those jokes because you chose to be with someone, particularly because that's what you like, you know, she's going with it. So she can't really like complain about Amberlynn's inabilities when she kind of knew what was going on there. She knew what she signed up for. And yeah, so she'll keep saying stuff like that like, we'll see. Yeah, so I feel like Amberlynn probably was thinking that Emily was going to take care of her, and Emily didn't want to do that.
Emily is that type of person who would wake up. You wake up in the greatest mood. I'm talking about me. Get me for an example. I wake up in the greatest mood. I'm in Wisconsin. I'm with my partner. We have wonderful fur babies. Everything's fine. She wakes up raging at nothing. First time, I was like, okay, this is weird.
I remember when Amberlynn used to do that. Actually, we were watching them recently when we were during the 2018 timeline videos. That's what Amberlynn was doing in February, January, February, March. I guess March is when she started trying to take medication to regulate her emotions, and it seemed like the stuff she got wasn't working, so she tried new stuff, and now she's got more energy from that stuff. Yeah, so her emotions were very much the same, where didn't know who was going to wake up that day, and was taking it out on Beck, because she was living with Beck and Eric and Ricky at the time, and taking it out on Eric and Ricky too, because you'll see around that time, she was not getting along with them either. So like Amberlynn was going through that, so now it's interesting to see her having to deal with that, and she doesn't like dealing with that, but it was okay for Beck to have to deal with that. So yeah, I don't know. I hope like maybe Amberlynn will kind of like reflect on this relationship and maybe go into another one with a little bit more knowledge this time, but we'll see. Angel Cash, have a good day. Thanks for stopping in. All right. Okay, let's see what else she has to say.
Second time, I'm like, whoa, is this going to be a pattern? Third time, I knew it was going to be a pattern. And that's what I had to deal with. Every day waking up wondering, is she about to rage for nothing? I would wake up with anxiety. It started with waking up happy to then waking up with crippling anxiety. Just waiting for the next thing to drop. I'm scared of you. And you're rewriting history to the very creator who called you a murderer. I could never. After everything I've been through, it was just nice to feel wanted and not... Oh, it was just nice to feel wanted and not be so alone anymore. I did want you. I did. And you weren't alone with me. That's one thing about having BPD, is I might be up your ass a little too much. Thankfully with Zoloft, I gave you a lot of space. And it felt good because it was space that I also needed.
That sounds like an advertisement for Zoloft, the way that she said it. Thankfully.
One thing is, you were never alone. No matter what you put me through, you were never alone. I was always there for you. No matter what. You hurt me and I was the one apologizing for getting blood on your floor. That was a metaphor. I don't want people to take that serious. That's how our relationship was. I apologize for you hurting me. Constantly. Oh, now he has to sit here and read the whole thing. Oh, he put a video clip of us. Nice. Thanks for that. I don't want to see her. I hate Snowflake more than anything in this world. And I really hope that he gets some sort of like karma in his life, like genuinely.
She's so funny. She doesn't really want to interact with the reaction channels, as she says. But then she'll like she's like, why are they so mean to me? And then she says things that like are just not very nice to them. And so like, well, you're engaging with them, so they're probably gonna keep saying stuff like that. I don't know, wishing the karma on them and stuff. Like, that's kind of you're doing that to yourself as well. Yeah, okay. Maximus, hello, welcome again. Oh my gosh, I was watching the last live stream and I noticed I like said hi to you like 5 times. Well, I hope you're doing well. Yeah, sugar, here comes the tears. Or at least the emotional part without the tears. Oh, sock puppet, hello. Well, like, I don't know why. I think she just tries to find anything she can shade someone with. Like, yeah, anything really. And most of it, well, yeah, most of it she's done herself or she's okay with, but yeah, it happens.
It's not fair. Oh, his next question. Was it still nice when she came to stay with you? How long was she meant to stay? I'll answer that question. It was nice in the beginning, maybe for a few days. But I'm telling you, every day was a roller coaster because I had no idea what Emily was going to wake up. And that sucked. It reminded me of my dad, low-key. That's how it was when I was a child.
Okay, so throughout this live stream, she keeps going back to her childhood trauma and comparing her current relationships to that. And instead of learning from it, she just keeps going through it. Maybe she'll learn from it this time.
How long was she meant to stay for? A few weeks. A few weeks. She didn't want me to leave. I didn't want to leave. That's how it is with lesbian relationships. U-Haul lesbians, we didn't make up that term. That's a term for a reason. But
And Amberlynn loves to fall into that stereotype.
I do want to say one thing. I did not want to move to Wisconsin. I want to make that very clear. I just wanted to stay longer.
Okay, but at one point she does say that she said for now that she likes having her own space and her own apartment, but in the future she sees her and Emily moving in together. Well, that was a long time ago though, and a lot has happened since then.
Just wanted me to stay longer. I did not want to move there. Did not. Her reply. There were little red flags early on. Like Amber would get upset if I didn't FaceTime her for hours every single day. Okay, hold on. I was going to respond to that. Let me finish the sentence. Or if I was busy at work and she didn't have time to message her. So first things first, the FaceTime her for hours every single day. That's true. And I think it's because that is the way that she said, okay. So her and Colleen would be on FaceTime for hours and hours a day. And that is how mine and Emily's relationship started. And it was because she wanted that. So when that became a pattern where it was, we were on FaceTime for hours and hours a day, that is what I got used to. It was like we were living together, but through technology. That is what I got used to. And having BPD, I have also very bad anxious attachment.
Okay, well, it's good that she's aware of the situation, I guess, right? Okay, that's all I have to say about that.
Like thankfully, I just want to say I'm very much far gone from that area. I don't have that like anxious attachment feeling anymore. Thank God. It's been like that for months and it feels really good. I'm not gonna lie, because it feels like genuinely you're in your own prison feeling like that. Like it feels almost impossible to heal. Like it is not a fun feeling at all. If you know, you know. So I will admit that that's definitely how it was, because that's, you know, the pattern that we created together. And when I noticed, you know, sometimes she didn't want to do that, my brain, because it's not wired the same as everyone else's, my brain would tell me she hates me. What did I do wrong? What, you know, so yeah, she'd take it personally and get upset, bam, because that is the way my brain is wired. And that's unfortunate. During my first visit to Oklahoma, things actually seemed to go really well, but it was a short trip. We were still in that honeymoon phase. I hate that. I genuinely hate that, like that saying, honeymoon phase. Like, why can't we just say that we were happy together? Like, that's my whole thing about love bombing. Like, you can stay happy like that, but it just goes to show that Emily was the love bomber because we were in that honeymoon phase. I hate that saying, bro. Like, genuinely. It was during my second visit when things started to feel off. I didn't even know that. That's new to me. I didn't even know that. She would get irritated if I checked my phone or responded to my messages that weren't about her or focus on her. I'm sorry, but I do not remember that. And like, my whole thing with this whole situation is like, I want to be honest where I'm wrong, and I want her to be honest where she's wrong. And that's never going to happen. In Emily land, that's not going to happen.
Oh my gosh, okay, that just reminds me of Destiny and the Code Red incident, where Amberlynn does not admit to throwing the can at the car, but Destiny swears it happened.
If I don't remember something, I'm strictly just going to say I don't remember that. I'm not going to sit here and say that she's lying, because that sounds very much something like, you know, Amberlynn at 24 would feel. So did Amberlynn do that then? Maybe, but I do not remember that. That visit also happened right after she posted who I was, and she was and the doxing stuff. Ooh, we get to talk about that. Oh, I'm excited actually, because anyways, let's keep going. That visit also happened right after she posted who I was and the doxing stuff that happened. So tensions are high. So I kind of brushed it off at the time, thinking it was just stress. But everything really started to change when Amber came to visit me. Yeah, because I saw your true colors. Those red flags, and those lately pink red flags that were heart shaped, they started to become brown and every other color that I don't like puke green, and they were no longer heart shaped. They were like circles and squares and rectangles and triangles because of you. And I remember we were sitting in your garage, and you know, while you're in your little recliner chair and you're smoking cigarettes and I'm sitting next to you, and you said, you know what, something I really like about you, you're always positive. You bring a positivity to my life that I've never had before. You're a very optimistic person. That changed, didn't it? Why? Why did that change, Emily? Why did that change? Why did I stop being so positive? Why did I stop laughing all the time with you? Why? Where did that optimism go? Why? What changed? Who changed me? Think about that for 3 seconds. Who changed me? It wasn't me. So the part about that visit also happened right after she posted who I was. I did not want to show anyone who Emily was. I actually have text message proof of this. We had talked about it in text messages. I knew the hate was going to happen. I explained the hate. I told her, I don't want the haters to find you. I don't think you can handle it. I don't want you to handle it. I don't want to post you. I was guilt tripped so bad. She would say things like, I don't want to be hid. I don't understand. Like, Alexis actually told you guys this. Alexis lied about some stuff, and there was some stuff she was truthful on. I've always said that. But I was guilt tripped into revealing who she was. She would say things, I want people to know that you're taken. I don't want to be hidden. I don't want to be a secret. I was like stuck in a spot. I was terrified. I was like, I don't want to lose Emily. Like, I feel like I'm being forced into this, but I also don't want the internet to ruin it for me as well, because I knew exactly what was going to happen. And I warned her, and she still wanted it to happen.
And you know what's funny too? Alexis would always say that there was just something off about Emily, and wasn't a great fit for Amberlynn, and she could already tell that basically Emily didn't really have the patience for Amberlynn. Just Danny, hello. Okay, so she cheated on her to date Valentine. I'm so confused. No. She was dating Valentine before. And then, like, she basically, once Valentine's wife stepped in and it was, like, definitely over, that's when Emily here jumped into the picture. And, like, it was, like, a week later they were together. But, yeah, Emily was, like, according to Alexis, yeah, that Emily was pushing Amberlynn into a relationship. And, well, then wanted to be known online. And I'm wondering, too, like, if Emily was kind of coming in with the intentions of kind of being Amberlynn's Beck and kind of taking the role as the second character on her channel. But then, you know, they weren't as compatible as they thought. And like Amberlynn will say too, well, I think later on in this video, she'll say that she didn't even film that much while at Tommy's house. I keep saying that, at Emily's house. But she did. She did quite a few vlogs, and I'm pretty sure she was there like December still and was doing Vlogmas too. So yeah, it's like she has selective memory sometimes. Elizabeth, hello, good to see you. All right. Listen, let's keep going here.
All of the doxing, she took it out on me. You guys, it was horrendous. I ended up getting cellulitis. I had 103 temperature. It was almost 104. My temperature was so high, I couldn't even think straight. During like the climax of it all, I couldn't even think straight. She repeatedly was calling me, telling me, and texting me, call lawyers, fix this for me, fix this for me. She didn't care that I was sick. I had 103 temperature. And I was genuinely, like, when you have BPD, like, you have that favorite person, they can do no wrong. It's the rose-colored glasses situation. And that's very much how it felt for me. Like, I did not want to lose her. I'd do anything to keep her. So I'm like calling lawyers, Googling lawyers, while literally vomiting, almost 104 temperature, can't think straight. Like, genuinely, my brain was being fried. And all she cared about was me calling lawyers. I should have known then that she was a selfish person. I genuinely hate that this is even happening, because it's like, I still love her through it all. She could genuinely get a knife and stab me over and over, metaphor not, and I'd still love her. That's the
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure that's why she's not wanting to talk about Emily anymore. She went live yesterday. No, what's today? Friday. She went live Tuesday and said yesterday. My week is gone already. Okay, so yeah, so she was saying that Tommy. Oh my god, I lost my thought. She's got to repeat this.
I still love her.
Right. So she's not going to talk about Emily anymore because Emily doesn't want her talking about her, but I guess maybe they're even, because now that this is out, maybe Emily is going to stop talking to people online, and then that way Amberlynn won't drop any more of her stories either on her live streams. So they just agreed not to talk about each other. Let's see how long that lasts. And then, yeah, so it's going to be real crappy if Amberlynn decides to take Tommy back again. But then again, like, why would Tommy want to do that? Like, why would they? Okay. I don't know. Why would they want to be together in the first place when their behavior is just so toxic? But some people do. And here we are, watching some of those people.
At all. She could genuinely get a knife and stab me over and over, metaphor not, and I'd still love her. That's the type of crazy person that I am, and I hate that I'm like that. I genuinely hate that I'm like that, because I think of the happy times. I do. The happy times could be 10% of 100, and I would still think of them.
Happy times being what she called the love bombing stages of their relationship, and she just wanted to continue that part. Yeah, no, Tommy wasn't ready for that commitment.
I hate that he has to put clips of us, like, being all happy, like, it's so annoying. Oh, okay. Her other message was she was originally only supposed to stay for a week or two tops. That's not true. It wasn't going to be some extended thing. It definitely wasn't going to be 3 months, no. We were planning on probably around 2 weeks, because that's when I'd be off of work and be able to take her home. But by day 2 of her being at my house, things already started to shift. It was weird how high strung she was that early on. I don't know what shifted, or it was a change in environment, but she just acted off. Emily, if that is the case, why did you want me to stay longer? Why did you want me to move in? Why did you call me? Why did you literally say that that was my home too? Why, when I came home because I chose to come home, you would message me saying, I immediately want you to come back home. I want you to be here. I want you to move in. Why did you say those things? If I was so high strung and I acted off on day 2, why did you allow me to stay for 3 months? Why did you not want me to leave? Why on your birthday, when I made you spaghetti dinner and I wrote you a card saying that I'm willing to stay if you change and you do better and you stop lying to me and stop being deceitful and stop calling me names? Why did you cry because you wanted me to stay that bad and I finally decided to stay? Why? If on day 2 I acted that way, why did you tell me week 3 of me being there, you're the most positive person, the most optimistic person, like, you're always happy, you're so bubbly and fun to be around? Why did you say those things?
Well, I think you were in a relationship at the time, so she was probably saying nice things to you. And maybe genuinely felt that you made her happy sometimes when you were in your bubbly moods. Elizabeth, yes, that's right. In one of these, she'll say that that Emily, after Emily's 12-hour shift, she shouldn't be as exhausted as she's acting, because Amberlynn works and does her vlogs all the time and she's not exhausted and she can still do things. And yeah, there were 3-minute videos she was making. But then she also says Tommy only worked 2 days a week. 2 to 3. And that she was taking off time too to, like, hang out with Amberlynn. So probably wouldn't want to go out to a casino after those 12-hour shifts. Yep, pretty understandable, even if it is 2 hours. But so Amberlynn would have to get upset about those. It says that she's not exhausted from all of her hard work. I mean, it is work. It takes time, but at the same time, not as like draining as the 12-hour shift. So she's funny, but that is coming from Emily. We'll see what Amberlynn has to say about it.
That's very confusing to me. And it makes me feel like I was living in a twilight zone. Like, genuinely. She really didn't like that I had a life outside of her. Not true. I mean, I work 12-hour shifts. I have a family, friends, pets, a house to take care of. Those are true things, but I didn't care because she only worked like twice a week. So, what?
It was funny. Elizabeth, yeah, I was thinking the same thing. As long as she thinks that she can still have some type of relationship with Tommy, she's probably gonna... Oh my God. Anyway, I'm just gonna keep going with it and stop correcting myself. If I say Tommy or Emily, same person. Yeah, so if there's any kind of chance, she's gonna do what she has to do to keep Tommy around. Yeah, okay, so she did mention something about how Tommy was only working twice a week.
I have responsibilities. But anything that wasn't about her felt like an inconvenience to her, and she made that very clear. That is so not f***ing true. It is absolutely insane. So when it comes to friends, she doesn't have friends. She had like a couple coworkers and stuff that she like kind of considered friends. I would always be like, why don't we go hang out with them? I don't understand like why she didn't want to introduce me to her friends. I thought that was so weird. I didn't meet her family in person until like I genuinely had to. And I'm not going to say like that's personal. It's like medical stuff. I'm not going to like get into it. And I always wanted to like go to her families, hang out with people. Like I was miserable in Wisconsin. I don't think you guys understand. All I did was sit in her fucking room in her bed. That is all I did. Like I genuinely was, oh my God, here she messaged me. Dear Heavenly Father, grace me upon your presence. Like, what is it now? Oh, it's not popping up on my... Load to my MacBook, please. I want to see the text message. There we go. Are you really talking about my family? Oh, didn't say anything personal. I just said I wanted to meet them. Can you calm down, Emily? Like, for real. Like, you literally said in the message, I have family and friends and pets. Like, I'm just responding to what you said. Oh, damn diggity. Anyways, so it's like I wanted to go do these things. Like, I literally just sat in her bed, like, genuinely, constantly. So the fact that she's saying that is crazy. I would purposely try to find ways to, like, leave the house. Like, I was like, can we do, like, a 5 Below challenge? So, like... I paid to do like this 5 Below challenge with her and a family member. I'm not going to go into detail. And it's like, you know, I was like, oh my God, can we go to the arcade? Can we do this? Can we do that? We literally, like the fact that we even went to Billie Eilish, like, love that for me. Like, I'm always so appreciative. But it's like.
All right. So I'd say that anytime they left the house, Amberlynn filmed it and put it on, or it included it in a vlog. So we probably have all the footage of anytime they left the house. She filmed. Yeah, and I think that Emily had like a medical emergency of some sort because then she had to stop drinking because she was on medication. So I think that's probably when Amberlynn, like, you know, when she said I had to meet her family, I'd say that's when like that meeting happened, which would be, this is kind of weird that Emily, I don't know, maybe Emily didn't want to introduce, well, maybe she just didn't want to introduce her to her family. Who knows why, but it could be many reasons, but it seemed that way, and it was only forced upon them, as Amberlynn said.
Anyways, I'm going to ramble on about shit. Okay. I'd get home from a 12-hour shift completely exhausted from a stressful job, and she'd get upset if I wanted to go straight to bed. That is such a fucking lie. You have never in your life gotten off of work and went straight to bed. Well, I feel like I'm genuinely living, like, actually in the Twilight Zone. She'd say things like, oh, you're not going to hang out with me, or ask me to take her to the casino or go shopping. We went to 5 Below one time. We went to the casino a couple times, and guess who paid? Me. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars.
Do you think she's lying? I think Amberlynn's telling the truth there. I'm not sure how much Tommy actually put into the pot here, but it seems like Amberlynn put in hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars at a casino that she went to twice, it seems like. No, I don't know. We'd have to go through her vlogs and see when they went. Sock puppet. Sitting on someone's couch for 3 months, asking them to take you out somewhere. Go home. Yeah, really. Elizabeth. Well, yeah, I guess if you message Tommy on Instagram, she'll probably message you back.
I'm not gonna lie, I spent a little too much at that casino, but I paid for that. And guess who else who wanted to go? Guess who else who loves the casino and the bingo and the scratchers and the this and the that? Emily. We got along in that way. She loved it. She never said no. She never said no. And
She just said we get along in that way. So they both enjoy gambling, is what she just said. Gambling and drinking, because I'm pretty sure that's what they did most of the time when Emily would go to Oklahoma and when she was in Wisconsin as well.
did we go to the casino after you went to work? Maybe once, but it was usually on a day that you took off by your doing. So don't fuck with me. Don't fuck with me. Please don't fuck with me. Like, I'm so tired of the lies. Like, genuinely, it is. I'm like, there's probably a word for it, but I can't find it right now. If I said no, she'd get upset. You've never said no. You never said no. And compared to her working on vlogs all day, that never happened because I didn't vlog at your house.
Okay, so she said you never said no. You never said no. But then Amberlynn would say, I'd always beg you to take me places. So is she saying specifically you never say no to the casino? Because it says here casino or shopping. So Amberlynn's kind of contradicting herself there, unless it was just the casino where she suggested that they go and Emily said yes every time, I guess. Ugh. Contradicting herself a lot, huh?
I maybe did a few videos. I did a few videos. So that's not true, Emily. Saying she still had the energy to do things, so I should too. Okay, none of that ever happened. And that's fine. That's fine. That's fine.
None of it ever happened. Everything's a lie. Oh, man. That's fine.
Someone actually gave me the idea 3-minute vlogmases. Like, and if you go over 3 minutes, then awesome, that's amazing. At least you're uploading every single day, even if it's 3 minutes. And I'm like, you know what? That's kind of a good idea.
Amber expected me to constantly be available. I will say, I was a little like that. I can take accountability there. If I didn't text or call during my breaks, or if I wasn't giving her attention constantly, she'd get upset or start a fight. That's due to my trauma. I will say that probably did happen. I can admit that one. I told her in the beginning that I need to be able to have alone time because that is how I decompress from stress. That's true. We've had arguments about that before she visited too, because she didn't like that. She would always accuse me of not loving her, and and how terrible of a girlfriend I was. I never said you were a terrible girlfriend. You became terrible. You became terrible. You became very terrible. She wanted me to call out of work anytime she was having a crisis.
So I think Amberlynn isn't impressed that Emily's blaming taking time off work on Amberlynn rather than just saying, I didn't want to be working while Amberlynn was there. I'd rather spend time with Amberlynn. The shade.
Or just felt like she wanted me to stay at home. F***ing lie. F***ing lie. F***ing lie. Oh my God. The flat out lies is what's really scary to me. She was always in a bad mood because of this. I don't know what that means. If I did anything that didn't involve her directly, she would start an argument. Not true. I was exhausted trying to juggle everything in my life on top of her constantly being mad at me. You weren't really juggling anything because you didn't really do much of anything. We get into arguments and she just wouldn't let anything go. That is f***ing you. That is literally you to a T. And I sit here and I rage and I rage and I rage because you pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed. You lied, you cheated, you betrayed, you lied, you did secret shit, you verbally abused me, etc., etc. The list literally, genuinely goes on. I've never been more gaslit and manipulated in my life. I have never felt the way that you made me feel in my life, but anyone I have ever been in a relationship with, ever, in my whole entire life. I've never experienced something like that, ever. And I told my mom exactly the way that you made me feel. And you know what she told me? Amberlynn, that's exactly how I felt with your dad. The shit that my dad would put my mom through was terrifying, and I had to witness that. The fact that you made me feel the way that my dad made my mom feel is sick. I never knew how my dad made my mom internally feel until I told my mom the way you made me feel. Think about that for 2 seconds. And now I'm finally genuinely speaking my truth, and you're
Elizabeth! Imagine having this in your home. Oh my god. It's so chaotic. It's just like follows her. And the fact that she had to like almost re-traumatize her mother, you know? Because she knew she wasn't going to leave Tommy and that they were on and off and on and off. And she thought her mother was strong enough to handle this. And I remember like in 2018, 2017, 18. So like, you know, it's been 6, 7 years. But still at the same time, like her mom didn't want Amberlynn's chaos in her life because she couldn't handle it because she was trying to stay sober and get her life together. And then now she just like is taking on all of Amberlynn's burdens that have been building up since childhood that she just didn't take care of, I guess, when she was there. But so it just seems like Amberlynn could be avoiding all of this chaos, but instead decides to stay with Emily and continue it, and then has to unload on her mother, who probably doesn't need to have that stress in her life. Like, ridiculous.
Cool. Okay, she would gaslight, deflect, just typical narcissistic behavior. We both know I'm not a narcissist. Have I thought that in the past? Yes. Have I taken plenty narcissist tests? Yes. Have I talked to therapists? Yes, because genuinely that terrifies me. But you know that I'm not a narcissist. You know that I'm not. You know that. But the behaviors that you demonstrate, whether that be publicly or behind closed doors, shows textbook narcissist behavior. And it scares me. You scare me. But I have a lot of support behind me. I have my mom behind me. I have my friends behind me who have seen me go through this for months and months and months now.
I think this one in particular, this like sentence that she's saying, or her little monologue she's on about right now, I can really see Beck saying this to Amberlynn, saying how Beck has all this support behind her and she's ready to go, and Amberlynn's just like taking her down a little bit, so it's time that Beck moves on, but that never happened. It should have happened in about 2018, I guess, but it didn't. It kept continuing, and it wasn't good. So maybe would be a good time for Amberlynn to kind of end this, because if not, they're probably gonna just keep fighting, and who knows? I mean, she hit it the first time that they're not together, or that they weren't together for the last few months, because she said they've been together for 13 months. So this could be another, like, I had a venting session. Now everyone knows that I probably shouldn't be with Emily, but I'm going to give in to her need for chaos, basically, because she really should be fighting against the feeling that she needs to be in this person's life or have them in her life, because obviously they're not getting along. They have their own issues they need to deal with, and they're just bringing each other down. But so yeah, if Amberlynn does decide to go back, it's definitely going to be hidden if she's not already with her.
And that is what is giving me the strength to speak up. It's not me. I'm not strong. It's the people who are supporting me. And I've needed that. It got to the point where I started going into the other room just to sleep because she wouldn't stop arguing with me when I was trying to rest before a shift. That happened one time.
Elizabeth, yes, we're hoping that Mama Lynn's doing well. Taking care of herself. She's always in such a good mood, and yeah, you could see how like this would really probably worry her a lot. And it could really take her mood down for sure. I mean, a lot of this is probably hard for a lot of people to hear, you know? So I hope as we watch this, everyone's doing all right. And not feeling the need to click off because it's heavy, but, you know, take care of yourself. Because it's kind of heavy content. It's not as fun as our regular 2018 stuff. Although this is a little bit more like everything's coming to a head, so it's a little heavy right now, but we're gonna continue on.
And it's when everything hit the fan. And I followed you in there with my BPD meltdown, my tantrum. Yeah, I did.
Yeah, so the way that Emily says she would then stand over, like saying that this would happen multiple times rather than just the one time that Amberlynn's talking about. So maybe like Emily might be over exaggerating here and trying to make it seem like Amberlynn did this constantly. Maybe Amberlynn's trying to downplay it and say that it only happened this one time. But it seems like if it did only happen this one time, it led in, like, this was what that night that they led up to their this is their argument over the Tinder pictures. No, not Tinder. Tumblr pictures. Then the same night that Amberlynn tripped over the rug and fell on Emily. The same night Emily sent the first picture of her arm. And the same night morning that Rarity got out. And then they didn't realize that a whole next day, and I think Emily went to work that day. And we'll see later too where Amberlynn said that she didn't see Princess for a while, which is Emily's cat, and then wasn't sure where Rarity was. Like, so I think we have like kind of like the full picture of what actually happened to Rarity. And I think it was happening while they were having this big fight. And the way that Emily kind of makes it sound here is that it was on multiple occasions that Amberlynn would come and stand over her and not give her any peace and, you know, all this stuff that she's saying here. But I think she's kind of letting it leak that it was just like this particular night where everything blew up.
I did, and I'm able to admit that. My pain turned me into a monster because of what you did. Yeah, I am able to admit that. And you're not taking accountability for anything, and that's terrifying to me. I'm not done with this video, but I sure hope that you do take accountability. I literally have to get off of here soon, so I need to go quicker because I literally have an appointment with my mom and my grandma to spend the day with them. She came into the room and stood over the bed. She told me that if I wasn't going to continue the conversation, which was basically her going on and on of how I didn't love her and all of this crap.
How I didn't love her and all of this crap, so she's not gonna say, because I was looking at her things that she likes to look at online, I guess, Emily, and she found out that she was also talking to, Amberlynn found out that Emily was talking to someone that really didn't like Amberlynn, so was trying to like get some dirt on Amberlynn. So there were some things that she was leaving out here when she said that you just don't love me and all that crap. Oh.
Then said, fine, if I can't have peace from being able to have this conversation, then you aren't going to either. She would then stand next to the bed I was sleeping in and intentionally keep me up all night. I feel like this happened every time she knew I was going to work. Like she was intentionally keeping me up because she didn't like that I wasn't home instead of work. That's a bullshit lie. That's a bullshit lie. I liked when you went to work. Not gonna lie, it was peace from you. I liked having those 2 days a week where I didn't have to be like, oh my God, is she going to be raging at me? Is there going to be a fat joke? Are we going to argue? I liked that piece, Emily. Genuinely liked that piece. That one time that I stand next to the bed crying for you to hear me, to love me, I felt so unheard. I felt so unloved. I was betrayed. Like you constantly were deceitful. Did I do that? I did. I stood there bawling my eyes out, waiting for a hug, reassurance, love, kindness, empathy, anything to show that you were remorseful for hurting me. And you did not give me any of that at all.
I'm just really surprised that she didn't just like keep you locked and cornered into an argument all night and you got no sleep. Because if that would have happened with me and her, that's what she would have done with me.
Snowflake said, it sounds like she didn't want you to work and just spend all day at home with her. I'm guessing she used BPD as an excuse for her behavior. I'm guessing so. What's your excuse, Snowflake? Emily replied, she 100% used her BP as an excuse. I did, I do, it's also a reason. That's what's frustrating me the most. Anytime she'd have one of her tantrums, she wouldn't take any accountability and say it's because she has BPD. And she'd be like, I'm not trying to be mean, I'm just trying to tell you how I feel. Which is true, I'm just trying to tell you how I feel. When she would literally scream at me about something like taking 4 minutes longer than I would have when I went outside to smoke. Not true.
Did you really set a timer? I did a couple times. Yes.
I told her she can't use that as an excuse if she refuses.
Okay, the timer thing is from her time with Beck. Not Emily, but it was a pattern. It's something that she does. She likes to set timers for things.
Do anything to help herself to get better. She made a lot of false promises of getting into therapy. So did you. You need therapy bad, girl. You need therapy bad, like on a different type of level. We promised each other that we would both get help, that we would take our medicines, that we would be better not only for each other, but for our selves, for ourselves. I went to the therapy. I was going to the therapy appointments. I was taking my Zoloft. I was doing this and that, and you were doing nothing but every day raging at me and being mean to me for no reason, going behind my back and saying awful things about me. She told me in so many different occasions that she was signed up and she never went. That's not true. Yeah, I remember a video where she said she found a therapist in Wisconsin. I thought, and right, she's been awful to Emily, and this is her way of saying, hey, I'm going to get help. Of course, Snowflake, because you create like narratives in your head. In any way that Amberlynn could be wrong or bad, you create that. The fact that I found a therapist, it led you to a pipeline of thinking I was awful to Emily and that's why I got a therapist, is insane behavior.
I have actually found a psychiatrist/therapist who I'm going to be speaking to. I'm going to be calling. I have not called yet. I have discovered them. I have found them. I know about them and they know nothing about me yet. So I was going to see a BPD therapist when I was in Wisconsin, but they were located in Wisconsin. And I
Okay, so when she got the therapist, was she thinking that she was going to move to Wisconsin, or was she's going to kind of explain here what she was thinking. But it just seems like really weird that she would say that, or that she would look into a therapist in Wisconsin. Like, was she looking to start one next week or something? Like, this is something you have to kind of do like over time, and she didn't even know where she wanted to live at that point. Anon, good to see you. And Acadia Strong, good to see you as well. Oh, I hope you're having a good Friday. And yes, Anon, you're right. They are both toxic to each other. And sometimes others.
dumb, wasn't thinking at the time, and I do not live in Wisconsin. I live in Oklahoma. So now I have to re-find someone.
So what would you do all day when, Snowflake said, so what would you do all day when you were at work? I'm going to take a guess and say nothing, lay in bed all day watching reaction channels. So no, I wasn't watching reaction channels, but yeah, all I did was stay in her bed. That is all I did.
Reaction channel, reaction channels, reaction channels, reaction channels.
Let's see what she said. Yep. What? I feel like some of this is like out of order because this doesn't make sense, but the response was, yep, that was one of her manipulative tactics and staying longer when it was getting to the point where I was asking her to leave. I literally have journal entries. I have journal entries, and I'm pretty sure I have messages literally telling you that I needed to leave, that I could not do this anymore, that I genuinely could not do this anymore. I was miserable. I would call my mom constantly, bawling my eyes out, Emily, bawling because of you. And my mom was like, honey, I will come get you. You deserve better. You don't deserve this. That was a constant everyday thing, an everyday battle, and you know it. I was miserable. She thought she would get a therapist here. I'd let her stay so she could do the therapy. She did a whole lot of nothing, to be honest. I didn't do shit there.
Hey, there it is. So Emily kind of says that maybe Amberlynn's plan was to stay there, and that's why she was looking for a therapist in Wisconsin. And then when she recorded that second video we saw, she was back in, Oklahoma. It's like, oh, I forgot. I don't live in Wisconsin. I live in Oklahoma. So she hadn't made the choice yet of where she wanted to live.
Miserable. She sit around and watch YouTube videos, including reaction channels, all day. No.
Reaction channel, reaction channels, reaction channels, reaction channels.
I did her laundry. She did do my laundry because I literally could not do the laundry. She had one of those laundries where you had to bend down. I could not, because mine's different. It's like, how do you explain it? There's the ones that are out like this, and then the ones that are like this. Hers was like this. And that's how it was when I lived with Eric and Nerfy as well. That's how their washer and dryer was. And I couldn't go down to get it. I'm too short and too fat. My stomach was literally in the way. I could not reach down and get my laundry. So yeah, she did do my laundry, and she did it twice when I was there. That's it, just twice.
Because me and my mom would do her laundry.
I remember back then I would do her laundry for us. I didn't really like people touching my laundry. I still really don't, but I let Destiny do it because I trust her.
Kris always does the laundry.
I used to have a printer, but that's one of the items that Destiny took when she moved, so
Okay, so when I put this video together for March 13th, she cut that out where she's dumping all the clothes in, but like she's not like picking them out and putting them in one at a time, you know, to give them some room to breathe. She's just dumping them all in. It's fine, but you know, she gets the job done. It's just kind of funny to watch her do it. But then she cut it out.
I don't know what's going on with this washer, but every time you put softener in it, it leaks and it's not supposed to. Softener. True story, this is the first place Destiny and I ever hung out. That's just friends. We can hear the, yeah, her neighbor
Washer didn't have the time, so I came up here and did them all. Because this is the only one that was closed. It was 24 hours.
Okay, so it's kind of hard to hear that because they're in the laundromat, but basically this is the first place that Destiny and Dana ever hung out, and it was because Destiny was doing Amberlynn and Destiny's laundry because they didn't have a washer and dryer in their house yet, and I think they would go to Destiny's mom's house to do it, but it was kind of far away, so I think she said Dana showed her this laundromat, and that's how she started going there. And then it was like in November that they were talking, and it was also in November that Amberlynn filmed a video going to this particular laundromat too. So but then yeah, they were talking in November, but then they stopped talking basically until through December, I guess you could say, because then they started talking again in January, and then yeah, you know the history of that. They started dating like a month after Destiny broke up with Amberlynn.
I cleaned up after her and took care of the pets. She won't ever let Twinkie or the dogs out during the day when she was home. That's a f***ing lie. So I'll come home from work, I have to clean up Twinkie's pee off the brand new floor that I put in, and her dog's pee, but that's not true. That was from when we were f***ing sleeping. I was really proud of the floor because I recently just put it in and did it myself, which is a lot of hard work physically. I literally, which I explained this in my last live stream, when her dog and her cat Princess, literally her cat Princess pees on everything, all over my clothes, everything. Genuinely, that was one of the times she did my laundry because it was all over my clothes, and I literally have actually text message proof of that, of her cat peeing all over my clothing. She's not a bad pet mom. I'm here to say the truth. Emily is a good pet mom. She loves her pets. There's no like weirdness with that, but I'm just saying no pet is perfect. Actually, yes, they are. Mine are.
Okay, she says this now, but then says that she was trying to get rid of her cat Princess. And said something about how she just wanted to put it... no, that's all I'm going to say. No, I don't remember exactly what she said, but I think she'll say it later in this video.
Pets make mistakes. That's just how it goes. But what I did is, because I felt horrific, I felt horrible, I bought these really expensive, and they're like attractive looking like gates for her living room. They're not like these ugly looking things. Like they look really good in her living room, like the way that she has it, and like the, you know, and then I bought a really expensive like Hoover, and I was trying to fix the floor for her. Like, even though it wasn't just Twinkie, my dog is elderly. Twinkie does make mistakes. Twinkie is not perfect. I'm not gonna lie about it. Twinkie does make mistakes. I try my very hardest to take her out as frequently as possible, but while I'm sleeping or this or that, like she does have mistakes. It's gonna happen. She's very elderly. I've talked to the vet about this. Like, I don't know what to say about it, but I was very apologetic and I tried to fix it. That was something that I tried to do. Where was I? If you remember one of her vlogs, she talked about her responsibilities of letting the pets out. That lasted about 2 days. This started a lot of fights too. I let the pets out. Oh my God, it's ridiculous.
So on days that Tommy works, especially, like I have the same like morning routine. I'll wake up, take the dogs out, refill cat food, dog food, water. It's just like every day, just my go-to. So usually I take the dogs out and this curtain is usually open. It's just back at home in Oklahoma, like my routine is just a little bit different. So having to form another routine, you know, here in Wisconsin is a little hard.
He said, ugh, disgusting. Only time I remember her talking about her responsibilities with the pets was when she did the video explaining how Rarity got out. I'm sure she talked about that stuff, but then I just can't remember actually before I asked about Rarity, how did the tantrums get? What was the worst? If you're okay talking about it, if not, I'll show my face. You know what's funny? When me and Emily were messaging last night, Snowflake literally was asking questions about my hygiene. Emily told me. Snowflake was literally asking questions about my hygiene. That's where his head is at, bro.
Okay, so if he was asking that stuff, he didn't release that part. So like I said earlier too, maybe stuff that he wasn't getting any of the juicy information from, the stuff that he wanted to put out, if Emily wasn't answering those questions, then he didn't include even those questions. Or, you know, he just put in what he felt was relevant and left some things out. Also, I find it so weird how fascinated people are with Amberlynn's hygiene. Like, yeah, sure, it was bad back in the day, but it seems to be getting a little better, you know?
Where his head is at. This isn't for justice for Emily. This is for clout and for money and for making Amberlynn look as worse as she can look. Like, if Amberlynn can look bad, he's gonna do it. Even if it ain't real, even if it's not founded in reality, he will make me look as as possible. That is his job. The tantrum slowly escalated each time. I started with her just shouting at me, to escalating to her slamming doors and punching walls. That never happened. I think I slammed a door one time because I was so fed up. I went to a different room, slammed the door. I was done. Like the betrayal, the gaslighting, the stonewalling, the cruelty, the fat jokes. I never punched a wall. Anytime I tried leaving the room, she would block doorways. She was also really jealous. I was very jealous. I'm a very jealous person in relationships. I've been very honest about that. Anytime I talked about Colleen, I made it very clear that I'm very understanding of the whole Colleen situation. But when you would compare me to Colleen in fights, you began to turn that into a weapon. You turned Colleen, this beautiful, caring, kind woman, into a weapon to hurt your current girlfriend. That's when it became weird. That's when it became awkward. Colleen was no longer your late fiance, but a weapon to hurt your current girlfriend. That's not cool, dude. That's not cool. That's f***ed. That is f***ed. You do not do that. I wasn't allowed to share memories or say anything about it really anymore. She would end up getting really pissed. I wonder why.
I know how much she loved Colleen and still does. Like, I fully get that. During arguments, she would literally tell me, "You're never going to be Colleen." Like, just saying how much better Colleen was. Like, I had to literally compare myself, and I was in competition with Colleen every single day of my life. Every single day that I was with her. But to continuously use Colleen as like a weapon, it became awkward for me.
Because she became a weapon just to hurt me. It was psychotic behavior. You made me fucking crazy, Emily. And I've never felt that way before. Ever.
Okay. Sock puppet. No, wait. Well, Elizabeth, you said it. I was wondering which part you were wondering was cut out, or if it came later. So I just kind of let it play to see. Because I think, yeah, I basically put this all in order, so it's not moved anywhere. But you'll have to let me know which clip you were wondering about.
But the worst tantrum was actually the night that Rarity went missing. Exactly like I said. And why was I reacting that way? For the audience watching, let me remind you.
She's about to make that clicking noise, I bet. It's so funny when she does that. She's really mad when that happens. Yeah, sock puppet, maybe stop dating emotionally unavailable people, Amber. Widows, women who are married. Yep. Elizabeth, that's okay. If it comes up, you could just be like, ah, that's the part.
Emily and I were sitting in her car, and she had lied to me for weeks about this woman she was speaking to. She said it was a coworker. Turns out it was a hater that she was friends with, where she would talk about me. So she let me have her phone because, she felt guilty. She would stare at me right in my eyes. The woman that she loves, she would stare at me in my eyes and say, "I'm not lying to you." You know how many times she has lied to me and about so much fucking shit? It's unbelievable. I could write a whole Emily encyclopedia of lies. I might publish that. Who knows? She would look at me dead ass in the eyes and say, "Oh, this is someone I work with."
Acadia, Amber is desperate for any type of attention, so when Emily came a knocking, she answered. Yeah, and she was definitely warned what Emily was into way before she started dating her. I think she knew before. Or maybe it wasn't until maybe it was known who Amberlynn was dating, and that's when she was warned, hey, this person's been in DMs with other bigger girls looking for specific people who are, you know, have a social media following. Ugh.
Hater who despised me. So when she let me go through her phone, she didn't know that I could go to her screen time and see the apps that she was on. She was on Tumblr looking at naked women bigger than me right after having sex with me. And the picture that is...
Ah! Wait, is that the part, Elizabeth? The way that Amberlynn said that was just like so bad. Alright.
engraved in my brain that made my whole soul leave my body.
Okay, Elizabeth, I know this is it.
Was this woman on an oxygen tank in a hospital bed. My whole soul left my body.
Could you imagine? Nope. Can't imagine that. Oh my gosh. That is crazy. Like, okay, sorry. I mean, like, how do I want to be a little bit more sensitive to Emily's condition here. I don't know what's going on with her, but, yeah, that's a little much. So she's really preying upon weak women is what it seems like. That's a little scary.
And then in that same moment, I find her on Phoebe, which is where the feeders go to do their thing. I click the messages. Literally, the day that we met in person, she messaged a girl saying how sexy she was. She messaged another masked lesbian feeder saying, wow, we're rare, masked lesbian feeders. That's the day I found out the truth. That's the day I found out the truth about everything. Well, not slightly everything, but most of it. I was destroyed. Destroyed. You want to talk about a crash out? I had a crash out. I had a full-blown crash out. And everyone that I have told this story to me who are close to me, I don't know if they're just saying it to like make me feel better, to save my ass or whatever it may be. They said, I would have crashed out too. Are you kidding me? Emily, you hurt me so bad.
Okay, so yeah, I think she found that this is when she found that out the night that Rarity got out, because then they got in a fight and then she hovered over the bed and then yeah, so we go through the steps and this is what started it. So basically they're just like talking about one night where all this stuff went down, but it makes it sound like it was like a reoccurring thing. But also I'm not sure how well they would get along after this would happen, you know? Because then she knows what kind of relationship she's in. But also is in denial about it. Acadia. Yeah, I remember how Amber was kind of like, Amber was mentioning how she was like almost interested in a man or something, or he was interested in her, and making it seem like she might try being in a relationship with this guy who really likes her. And yeah, it was probably just all to make Emily jealous for some weird reason. Acadia? Yeah. That too. Yeah, like she's preying on vulnerable women who have no other means of making money than to be on those sites. I think she really wants to be on those sites with them because that's kind of what she and Colleen were doing before.
And then you get mad and play victim because of my reaction. You hurt me, betrayed me, lied to me, deceitful, etc. The list goes on, and you get to play victim over my reaction of the pain that you caused me? No one deserves that. Why couldn't you have just loved me? Why couldn't I have just loved you? That is the part that is like, I asked her that so many times, it was unbelievable. Why?
Oh god, yeah. Okay, so I think that Emily is the stranger danger that Amberlynn found. Basically, like, this is what happens if you choose the wrong person online. Yikes. Also, Amberlynn just wanted the love bombing to continue forever and Tommy to never show her true self.
We just be happy. She saw me scrolling through my phone and there was this woman on my Instagram feed. She flipped out and said I was micro cheating.
Okay, yeah, so then Tommy says that's why she got upset, was through Instagram to make it sound less bad than it was. But no, well, you know what? I think that could have happened. I think that also what could have happened was what Amberlynn said with the Tumblr, but yeah, she's very shocked that she doesn't mention the Tumblr.
The argument escalated really fast. She lied. She saw this woman on my Instagram feed. She won't even admit to the Tumblr. She won't even admit to the Tumblr. When I tell you my jaw is on the floor, can someone pick it up for me? 'Cause I'm too fat.
Yeah, Acadia, not only does, like, she doesn't just meet people online, she waits for people to reach out to her. So she's literally just, like, a sitting duck waiting to be picked. And when she's, like, picked by these people who are, you know, looking to take advantage of the situation, it's not great. And, like, she was warned so hard about Jade, but got played by Emily here. More than Jade. At least Jade wasn't as unhinged as Emily, I guess you could say. Although I think maybe Jade might have been a little bit because but we don't know about it because Jade didn't like speak out to anyone, whereas Emily's online putting stuff out there. So obviously Amberlynn's got to put stuff out there, but since Jade wasn't putting things out there, Amberlynn also doesn't. And also, like, some of the information we got about Amberlynn and Jade behind the scenes came from Valentine. Trying to remember Valentine's actual name, but I forget. Yeah, I forget. Anyway, it was Valentine who put that information out about her and Jade getting into physical altercations. And then Lex confirmed the, like, Amberlynn falling on Jade's laundry or something. Anyway, it was a little unstable, but she was warned so much more right after breaking up with Beck than she was before getting into a relationship with Emily, because she seemed single for a while and we didn't really know what was going on in her love life. But then when we found out what was going on, she was warned quite a bit. And still is not learning from her situation. All we can do is hope that she does, right? And if she doesn't, then, well, we'll just keep following and see what happens.
She won't even admit to the Tumblr Instagram feed. What is actually happening right now? Anyway, okay. Whew, that was the first time she got physical with me. She threw things at me. What did I throw at you? You know what? Let me go right here. What did I throw at you, actually? I threw things at her?
All right, so they're going to get into a conversation here about a cup that Amberlynn went to throw but didn't throw. So she might have picked it up, looked mad, like as if she was going to throw it, but then, like, you know, stopped herself from doing that. So then made it sound like Amberlynn actually went through with the action of throwing it in Emily's direction. But I don't think that anything was actually thrown. Erica, sock puppet, thank you. I knew it started with an E, but I couldn't remember which one. What it was. Sock puppet. Oh yeah, literal, or was it in the last live stream or this one where she's like, I can throw this plant. I could throw this and this. But I don't think she threw the cup in this instance.
Wait, hold on. I'm like, so, wait, hold on. Let me go to the message. She threw things at me. All it does is take 5 words to make someone seem like a real fucking abusive bitch. I didn't throw a thing at you, Emily. Oh, she replied. The water bottle that was on my dresser. Oh, I threw a water bottle on your dresser. Okay, let me go back to the text message from last night where you said that I did not throw it at you. Here it is. You know when you picked up the water bottle to throw at me? All I did was
to throw. So she's not really saying that she threw it. She didn't follow through on it, but
pick it up. I didn't throw it at you. And then here it goes. Where did I respond? Oh, and then you said, so when you picked it up and raised it like you were gonna throw it, what was that? That is what you said right there. So did I throw it or not?
yeah, so I think at this point she didn't throw it, but I totally believe Destiny when she says that Amberlynn threw the code red can at her. I believe Destiny in this situation. I believe Amberlynn in this water bottle situation. Especially the way that Emily had worded it too. Like you were going to throw it at me.
Already arguing. I was like, I don't want to be around you anyway right now. Like, we're arguing. I wanted to go see my mom. She starts screaming at me from the sliding glass doorway, saying that she's gonna harm herself if I leave. All this stuff, just going nuts. Then I was like, no, you won't. I said, that's not something to play around with. Just let me go see my mom. And she starts like coming at me, like, ooh, 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 ooh. So I get in my car and I leave the can on my top of my car and I close the door real quick and I lock the door and she's like telling me to get out, all this stuff, and she ends up throwing the can at my car. Made me mad. And I want to say I ended up not going. I don't think I did. I'm like 98% sure I did not go to my mom's. I ended up just going back inside and dealing with her.
The code red incident, she was saying how I freaked out because she wanted to go see her mom, right? She wanted to go see her mom, which means her mom was not around, right? So she wanted to go see her mom and I wouldn't let her. But yet in her newest live stream, she said, and I quote, the only person who was a witness to this was my mom.
The only person that would be a witness to that is my mom. And if I could call her and ask her, y'all know I would, but I cannot. So
how could she have been a witness to the code red incident if she wasn't even there?
I wanted to go see my mom.
And I showed my mom and my mom said, Amberlynn, Emily is crazy. That did not happen. That is not how the events played out. I will stand by that and I will forever stand by that because I don't get physical with people. I'm not going to throw things at somebody. I am not going to threaten.
Yeah, okay, so Amberlynn was kind of making her mom a witness to what was going on between her and Emily. The same way that Destiny would have made her mom a witness to the events that took place the day the can was probably thrown at the car. I think Destiny probably told her mom about it when it happened, just like Amberlynn told her mom about what Emily was doing. But she also sent a picture of Emily, like the before and after photos of Emily's arm that she claims Amberlynn did to her.
I have never done that and I won't do that. So I want to make that very, very clear.
You're saying if I could hit someone, I would? Okay. I can throw this at someone's head.
Here it is. She's a funny character, that Amberlynn. Ugh.
Did Amber throw a glass at your mom? Yes, she did.
Like, the fuck? I could take this and throw it? I'm just not a physically person.
How are you going to sit here and lie?
Oh my gosh. Okay, so with Casey, it was like a glass cup or a glass ashtray. I'm not quite sure on that story either, so that's a little loosey-goosey story. Not quite sure if it's true or not.
Anything at you. Emily, we could have just loved each other. Do you remember when things weren't like this? When you were love bombing, how good that felt? Or I couldn't have just stayed that way. Why couldn't I have just stayed that way? Like, genuinely speaking, never throw a thing at you, girl. I'm not physically abusive. I was with Beck for 5 years, never threw anything at them, never hit them, nothing. I'm not abusive. As I sit here, I'm like trying to pound it down to my own hand. The only person I'm abusive to is my self. That was the first time she got physical with me. She threw things at me. I told her I was going to leave the room. She then oh my God, this is the part where I actually videoed my mom because it's psycho. Wait till you guys hear this part. Whew. She then grabbed my arm and dug her nails into my arm to the point of drawing blood. I have a picture that she later deleted months later. I have a picture of her. Okay, how do I start this? All right, let me dumb this down for dummies.
All right, all you dummies out there, listen up. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I do have the pictures, but she's gonna explain the situation, and then we'll look at the pictures up here. And they're not even bad, so don't worry about it.
Whew, okay, Emily and I, we're fighting, like, not physically, sorry. We're arguing, you know, the BPD tantrum's coming out of me. She's stonewalling, she don't give a f, like, she doesn't care. She did all these bad things. She does not give a f at all. And her room, I've talked about this in live stream, it's cluttered. It has, you know, a dirty clothes pile. It has this rug that constantly flips and this and that. There's 2 huge dog beds. One's Twinkies, one's her dogs. Like, it's a mess. I end up tripping over the rug. I'm going to like fall. Instead, my body goes onto her. She falls. I grab her arm because that's my instinct, was to grab her. That was like my first instinct, was to just grab her.
I remember I tripped over her rug. I landed into her. She fell on the ground. Like, as that's happening, I'm trying to get her, like, as she's falling, I go to grab her off the ground. It didn't work out very well. She still landed on the floor. And then she started like hysterically, "How come you pushed me?"
Oh my God, I love that. Like, either way, Amberlynn is hurting this woman that she's falling on. And the fact that she's making fun of her here is just so ridiculous. Oh my gosh. Help, help, you pushed me. I'm sorry, we have to make light of the situation because, you know, it's ridiculous.
"Oh, Mom, you pushed me." I'm like, what is actually happening?
So you know what she does? Oh my God. She takes a picture of her arm. I think it was, I don't know, an hour later.
Acadia, yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think she was trying to grab onto her to stop from falling. Yeah. Because Amberlynn knows that she shouldn't be falling, you know? Because it's gonna hurt.
She's in her car. She takes a picture of her arm and she sends it to me. Okay? Keep in mind, she's wearing a short sleeve. The picture of her arm shows nothing. This is her arm. This is her arm.
Okay, so it kind of took forever for Amberlynn to actually find the photos. So it was like way later in the live stream, so I'm just kind of plugging it in at this point so that we know what she's talking about. But I know that the words or the text here is covering up the picture, but there's a better picture coming up. It's just kind of like a reference so you know what she's talking about.
Keep in mind, she's wearing a maroon shirt. It shows nothing. The fact that she says grabbed my arm to the point of drawing blood is crazy because I have the pictures, which she later deleted months later. And I'll tell you why. It was 2 days later. We're now arguing about the argument that we had 2 days prior. Talk about toxic. We're now arguing about the argument we had 2 days prior. Why are we arguing about that? Because Amberlynn's hurting. Amberlynn's hurting from the betrayal, from the lies, the deceit, etc., etc. God, those are like, I haven't said those words more times than that's all I can say is fucking lies, deceit, that's all I got. Like, that's all it was for a hot minute there. So, you know, you're hurting. It's not going to go away in 2 days. Like, it's not going to go away in 2 days. It's just not. So every time I go to express myself, we start arguing, and then it turns into this big old thing, so we're arguing again. She ends up leaving the house again. That's what she does. And she ends up sending, oh my God, you guys are never going to believe it.
Elizabeth, yes, I think that's how the rail in the bathroom broke. She had to vlog and let us know that it's broken. Because Emily was trying to retreat into the bathroom.
She ends up sending me a picture of her arm with these nail marks that are like so like deep. And I'm like, what the f is that? I'm like, well, I'm literally on the phone with my mom, bawling, and I'm sending my mom these screenshots because Emily's in the car and we're like going at it in the messages. And I'm like, Mom, I think Emily just faked nail marks. And my mom's like, what are you talking about? Show me. I end up sending my mom the original from the night where I grabbed her when she was falling, the original message, the original picture in a message where Emily's wearing a short sleeve shirt and you see nothing. You see nothing. This is her arm. This is her arm. Emily literally faked nail marks in a different shirt on a different day, took the picture as if it was the same day. And I showed my mom and my mom said, Amberlynn, Emily is crazy.
All right, so let's look at this for a second. So you can see the way that her tattoos are. And there doesn't seem to be too much redness. Kind of around there. Now the second one was kind of blurry because it was tinier in the message that Amberlynn had. You can see in the second picture that it looks like it's fresh and red. And the Amberlynn shows us the text message here. Checking something right quick. I don't have a screenshot of that. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, it looks like they're a little bit more fresh, these red marks compared to the other one. The first picture, the second one looks a little bit more fresh, but then it's also from this text message Amberlynn has that Amberlynn sent to Emily saying, "You straight up kicked me. I'm done, Emily. I'm calling and packing. I'm calling her now." And Emily said, "I didn't fucking kick you, Amberlynn." And then sent the picture of her arm. And I blew up the picture, but by the looks of it, it looks like that's this is the second one. So was it the night? Was there another night where she kicked her? Maybe this is the same night, and then Emily was like saying, "Oh, you did this to my arm," and then just trying to make it, I don't know, what a weird, it seems like there's two different events going on here, where she fell on her one night, and then another night Emily kicked Amberlynn in the stomach, and then left, and doesn't really say anything in the message about like what Amberlynn did to her. She just has another picture a couple days later of her arm, and it looks more red, so it's like she grabbed her arm again. But then we'll see that that's like something Amberlynn would do to Casey. Would dig her nails in. So I don't know. What a weird situation. Acadia, that she kicked her twice. Yeah, Maximus, there's no, like, date on this. She just kind of showed us the picture, but yeah, let's keep going. Let's see what happens here.
I knew she was, but that to me was like, what the fuck is that? Like, what the fuck is that? Like, that is weird behavior. And Emily then later deleted both of the things, but she didn't know that I took screenshots of it. I took screenshots because I was like, what am I looking at right now? Like, genuinely, she is trying to get me She's trying to get a situation to look like something that it wasn't. And that scared me. So I was like, I'm screenshotting this and my mom wants to see it and I'm sending it to her. So that's what happened there. How can you draw blood with no marks? How the can you draw blood with no marks, Emily?
Well, yeah, I guess either way, there was redness there, but it didn't look like there was any blood drawn or there wasn't any claw marks or anything like that. It just looked like it was like welted up red, like someone had grabbed it.
Say it like it is. Stop exaggerating. Say it like it is. Amberlynn had crazy tantrums. Say it like it is. I'm having one now. Say it like it is. Because that's the truth. That is what is founded in reality. That is the truth.
She got mad and she grabbed my arm. Dug her nails into my arm.
All right, so that is the ending of that message. Let's move on to the next one. He responded to her, Jesus, wow, Snowflake, you're so pathetic. You're so empathetic. She replied with, at that point, I was livid. I told her to go back to Oklahoma, and then I was absolutely done. This is what would happen. We would get in a really bad argument. We both would say, I would say, I'm done, I'm going back to Oklahoma. She would say, you're done, you're leaving. We would both agree on that. Then obviously when things would come down, things would simmer down, we'd start to, get close again. And then neither of us wanted me to leave. It was just a vicious cycle that constantly happened. So eventually, I thoroughly decided I want to say it was 5 days before her birthday. I was like, I'm absolutely leaving. And I was like, I'm done, I'm leaving. My mom and her fiance was actually planning on coming to get me. And I was done. I was absolutely done. But then Emily literally, it went from it was like someone went into a room and turned the light on. It was like a light has been off for so long and someone flipped it on. She became sweet. She became attentive. She no longer woke up in rage. She took time to hear me, listen to me. She was loving. She was affectionate, whether that be emotionally, physically, whatever it was. She absolutely changed. It felt exactly how it felt like when we first got together in a relationship. And it made me think, I was like, I'm hopeful. This feels so good. This is love. This is what I came here for. I love Emily so much. And this is the way that I view her. I was so, she became perfect. It was crazy. So I ended up surprising her while she was at work. I made her this wonderful dinner, spaghetti, Caesar salad, garlic bread. I ended up getting her favorite pie and this whole thing. And I wrote her a really sweet card. And right at the end of it, and I kind of made it rhyme too. It was really cute. Right at the end of it, I said, and I've decided to stay. She bawled her eyes out. And I thought everything was gonna be okay. I woke up the next day and it was a storm again. And I was like, this genuinely cannot be real life. This genuinely cannot be real life. I was like, that is when I was like, okay, I'm gonna give it a couple days. Maybe she's just having a bad day. I decided on my own that I was gonna leave. I decided that on my own. That was me who decided that. And I know she likes to say that she decided it. It was not her decision. It was mine. 100% mine. Then she grabbed a picture of me and Colleen and held it up and threatened to break it. She knew that is something that would hurt me more than anything she could do physically to me, the lowest she could go. She let her apologize and then tried, sorry, I'm getting text messages left and right. She let her apologize and then tried begging for me back, saying that it was her BPD. At first she denied that she did any of those things, which that sucked too. I've never denied a single thing that I've actually done. I have denied the things I have not done that you have lied about. I deny what the false is. And I tell the truth on what the real is. Now that's reality.
No, I never destroyed her ex's photo.
This part, holy I feel like I'm living. And I'm like, am I just imagining the gouges out of my arm? Hold on. The fact that she says that she had gouges on her arm. Oh my God, I'm so glad I have that screenshot. I am literally the universe. Thank you. Genuinely, thank you. She apologized profusely when she knew she couldn't gaslight me into believing it didn't happen. Because it didn't. Oh my God. You guys have no idea. No one ever believes the thing I say, and I wish I had proof of everything I'm saying. And it's the fact that I have proof of something, it genuinely makes my heart feel so light, because it's that's a major thing to lie about. I didn't make no one bleed. I didn't squeeze no one's arms. See, this is what I mean about being gaslit. You start to think, did it really happen? If it wasn't for me saving that screenshot that she later deleted, I would be sitting here thinking, did that really happen?
Feel bad for me. Jeez. All right. Well, yeah, I'm not quite sure what to think at this point, because sometimes Amberlynn says, well, I don't remember. And it's she doesn't want to remember. So she just says, I don't remember, because then she'd have to remember and feel bad about it. So she's just kind of whatever, didn't happen. Don't have to think about it. Just keep going. So not quite sure if it happened or not. or what happened with Emily's arm, if she did. Like, there's the thought that maybe Amberlynn did something to Emily, like grabbed onto her arm or something, but also there's the, like, what if Emily had grabbed herself to make it look like Amberlynn grabbed onto her arm? But honestly, I don't really care. But it's something we'll talk about. Like, it doesn't really, like, okay. They're just toxic together. And at this point, I feel bad for neither of them.
If you're texting me and you don't want to be doxxed, do not text me because it'll pop up on my, whatchamacallit. So I'm going to show you the first photo that she sent me, okay? And remember, there's gauges and blood, okay?
Don't forget about those gauges. Trying to say gouges.
Remember that part. This is from a few days later. Keep that in mind. In this photo, you're going to see these weird marks that she created herself. Oh, Emily has marks all over her body. Like, oh my God, see, I don't want to go into medical right now, but she has marks all over her body from something medical. I'm not getting into it. But she is wearing a completely different shirt. You're going to see it. It's like a black type of deal. And she creates these marks. Okay.
Okay, so yeah, either Amberlynn did something like both days, or Amberlynn fell, grabbed onto Emily's in the first picture, and then on the other day, Emily kicked her. So maybe Amberlynn lashed out because she was just kicked by Emily when she was trying to get into the bathroom, because she. But then Emily denies kicking her. So either way, they probably got close, and a scuffle happened.
She faked nail marks days later. Didn't you guys hear what she said in Snowflake's thing, that she was bleeding? Where? Oh my God, I hate that I'm doing this because I still love her, but it's like I'm tired of the lies.
And this was last week. She still loved her. She's just tired of the lies. Yeah, Acadia, I agree. I feel bad for the animals that had to endure that, and there was quite a few of them in the house. There was like at least 6, maybe 7. I don't know if Emily had 3 cats or 2. But that was probably why the dogs were peeing around, because they were probably anxious and nervous and ugh.
Here it says, am I just imagining the gauges? Am I just imagining that? Am I just imagining that? Am I just imagining that? Yes, you are imagining that. Are you imagining the gauges out of your arm? The blood? Yes, you are. You are.
Elizabeth, yeah, we don't even know I don't even know what she was talking about or what she was trying to insinuate, and then she just didn't explain it. Like, it was supposed to explain what's going on with her arm. Doesn't really, but anyway.
When was I muted? Did you guys hear me say that was from November 17th? What word am I trying to say? Gauges. I don't know. And then Snowflake goes, oh God, then you went to work. Oh, he's so sympathetic. Such a sympathetic man. Oh, stupid as fuck. After work, I'm going to try very hard not to sit here and be like, we might have to do like a part 2 when I get home. I don't know. I'm supposed to go live tonight. Am I actually? After work, I didn't want to go back home. I was exhausted, drained, and I didn't want to deal with her crap all over again. She had been blowing up my phone all day trying to apologize and see if I would change my mind about having her go back home. After work, I went for a walk to decompress. She was not happy about that, but she was blowing up my phone asking me to come home. It was about 2 hours after my shift that I got a text from her saying that she couldn't find Rarity. She said that she hadn't seen her all day and that she was just telling me this now. At this point, I came home right away. I figured that she was just somewhere in the house and she was going to just saying that to try to get me to come home. But after I searched the entire house while Amber watched, she wasn't anywhere to be found. At that point, I moved the search outside. I was exhausted, but searched all hours of the night looking for her. I really thought I would find her that night, but it was no luck. At that point, I made posters and hung them up all around town to local businesses, posted on social media, and lost cat pages. Amberlynn's one job was to call the shelter and make a report. She's such a f***ing liar. Holy. But when I called the shelter after they found a cat that was deceased, the kind of matched Rarity's description, it ended up not being her. The shelter told me no formal report was ever filed. The only info they had on the report was from the lost pet database that I submitted. I literally have a voicemail. I don't know if I deleted it because I delete my voicemails. Like, saying the opposite of what she's saying here.
Tommy has made like online posters and
All right, let's take a look at these posters. Here it says that Rarity is, it says weight 5 to 10 pounds. And then the other one, weight around 8 pounds. And then it says age 11. And this is age 8 in the other one. Like, they don't even know. So she got Rarity at the end of 2017, and it was in November of 2017 to November 2025.
Put it on different websites and like went outside and we've been like yelling her name.
I spent hours upon hours driving around looking for her, walking through fields and in between houses around my house and through the snow. Amberlynn would go on the drives with me, but obviously didn't do the walking around part. When it was snowing, no, I didn't. No, I didn't. I can't walk in snow. I wear flats. I have lymphedema, but when it wasn't snowing, I was looking just as much as you. Am I going slower? Do I go as far? Am I going slower? Yes. Do I go as far? No. Obviously, I'm over 500 pounds, bro.
And she said that it was the first snowfall was around the time that Rarity went out, so I'm not sure how much of a buildup of snow there was at that point, but either way, she's not wrong. She probably shouldn't be walking around in her flats, like on the grass that's probably maybe dusted with snow. Who knows how much snow is there at that point, because like she said, it was like the first. So it could have been a lot at once, or it could have been like a little dusting or whatever, but either way, it'd be kind of wet. And but the way that Emily kind of puts it, where like Amberlynn was just sitting and watching her look for Rarity, as if Amberlynn just knew where Rarity was and hid her somewhere in the house. But no, that didn't happen. Yeah, so I don't know how much help she thought Amberlynn was going to be. You know, it's just like little things like that she kind of says that's like, I don't know what you were expecting, but...
Best I could. But one thing that I never stopped doing was looking for her. Whether that be on forums, shelters, going out. Like, one time me and Emily got in such like a bad fight, and it was over something that she said to me, like something cruel. And she literally would use looking for Rarity as like a control thing, as like power. In the same way that she would use Colleen as a weapon, she started to use Rarity as one. That's the shit that I had to deal with. And then one time I'm literally bawling my eyes out in the truck while we were looking for Rarity one time. And she literally said, if you don't shut up, it makes me want to punch your teeth down your throat, is what she said to me. That's what she said to me. That's the type of shit that I had to deal with. Did she ever punch teeth down my throat? No. But hearing those words, I almost feel like hurts just as bad. That's the type of shit that I had to deal with. I'd get so pissed when we were driving because she would have her head buried in her phone playing a stupid Farmville type game instead of looking out the damn window to find her cat. That's a lie, because up and down those streets I would yell, Rarity, you're a liar. I loved Rarity and she was a sweet cat and she would always sleep on my chest. I did everything I could to try to find her. I can't say 100% that she purposely let her cat out, but give the circumstances, the situation doesn't look good. You left the fucking door open. When you left that night, you betrayed me and you could not handle the heat. You cannot handle the reaction that I had due to the pain that you caused me. You left the door open and I took the blame. That is a conversation we had ad nauseum. We talked about it so many times my head was about to pop off. So many times we talked about it, Emily, and you know that. I took the blame for you over and over and over. I lied about everything for you, about you being a feeder, and I lied about us not being in a relationship to protect you constantly because I wanted people to like you. But you know what's funny? You wanted people to hate me. Do you have a humiliation kink? Is that what it is? You wanted to see me humiliated? You got your way. Are you turned on? Is this like your version of like phone sex, sexy time? Well, I'm not having fun with it. I'll tell you that.
It was a lengthy stay that became lengthier because we loved being around each other, which then became lengthier once Rarity went missing. I was not going to leave her here.
If it was a ploy to get her to be able to stay in Wisconsin longer than I guess it definitely worked. Off. Ooh, that feels good to say. Wow. I have not, like, I don't use that language with her. That felt good. No wonder why she would talk to me all the time like that, telling me, you, I hate you, you're a leech on society. Like, the most horrific things that you can say to a person, she said to me. And I stayed with her, and I still loved her. Sadly, I still do. When will that end? I need people to tell me, when the f is that going to end? When is my pain going to stop? I need to know.
Well, probably when you stop having a relationship with Emily, it seems like. And then maybe working on yourself, and, you know, then maybe you'll find someone that can deal with your level of emotions.
Because in the good times, there wasn't even good times. There was perfect times in the beginning. There was perfect times. How the f does it turn to perfect to this? I'll never know. Snowflake says, I don't know if you're like Amber and keep old messages, but do you have any messages from Amber about Rarity going missing? Because I need the clout. I need the money. Because I quit my job to do this. And I'm divorced. Yeah, I do. I have a message of her initial.
Okay, Amberlynn also quit her job to do this, so... And she, well, maybe she's not into divorced people, she's into the married people, so you can see where she's... Oh my god. Amberlynn, stop.
When she was missing, which is timestamped. It shows that her story that she posted on her vlogs about her being missing at 5 a.m. was not correct. I don't know.
Well, I think maybe she thinks Rarity got out at 5 a.m. and they went to bed and, like, Rarity was gone all that day, too. So she just kind of thinks that it was around 5 a.m. during the night. I guess it depends when Emily came back. Because that's probably when the door would have been shut. Well, Amberlynn said that she felt the door open later on, but... Elizabeth, yeah, she really doesn't like Mr. Snowflake.
Talking about
when it happened, it was 5 in the morning.
So then she sends screenshots of me telling her that that Rarity was missing.
All right, let's take a look at those. This all happened on November 17th. So this is what Amberlynn said. So am I leaving? Wait, I read that wrong. I also have moments where I snap on you. I haven't been able to find Rarity all day. I need help finding her, please. I've been calling her name and looking everywhere all day. So I'd say Amberlynn was sending these, it says 10 p.m. Well, she started at 10, but then Emily was messaging her back kind of right away because it was like 10:26 and she was already talking to her, so Amberlynn didn't probably wait too long to send all of these messages, so they were probably sent all one after the other. And I'm not quite sure why. Emily says, I'm afraid to come home, to be honest. And Amberlynn says, I didn't go to the back porch. Don't be afraid. I'm not going to cause you any stress. Well, okay, so at least she's kind of saying, like, stress, not like, I'm gonna, like, hurt you again, or something. Like, she's saying, like, emotionally, like, Emily's probably emotionally drained at this point. And, so that Amberlynn says, you can come home and go into the bedroom. I'll stay in the living room until you wake up for work. So then Emily says, if you didn't hurt me on purpose, why would you regret it? Get real. I don't want you to touch me. So then there, it's like, well, okay, maybe there was like some contact there, because then Amberlynn says, I regret anything I've done that has hurt you. So she's not going to really acknowledge what it was that she did to hurt Emily. Amberlynn says, I understand, and then says, oh my god, Princess is out. So I don't know if she means out from like downstairs in the basement, or oh my god, Princess is outside too. Not only Rarity's gone, but so is Princess. But then it says she just went up the stairs into the bedroom. I was so confused for a minute. That's what she says. So, I don't know, maybe she's out roaming too, just in the house. And maybe they keep them in the basement throughout the day. Because she did mention how there was a gate, but maybe Princess jumped over the gate. Amberlynn, oh my god. Okay, Amberlynn seems super manipulative in these text messages. She says, Emily, ? Can I ask you something? Oh man. Emily says, what? Amberlynn says, can I have another chance? Emily says, no. And then Amberlynn says, so you want me to pack my bags and leave? Emily says, yes. And then Amberlynn says, check Snap, please. And then Emily says, I've been abused before, and I was dumb to have stayed with her because look what it led to. Okay, so Amberlynn says, I would never do that. And then she's like, I sent a whole video. It's taking forever to send. Send. So I didn't really know what, like, the Megan situation was, but then, like, they'd mention it, kind of, and now I'm, like, thinking, okay, so now I kind of think I know what it is, but it's, like, something happened in a garage with a weapon of some sort. And I don't know the whole story, so I'm not going to go any further, but I guess, like, Emily had quite a confrontation with her ex at some point, so she's, like, worried that if she stays with Amberlynn that it could just get worse instead of better. But yeah, Amberlynn seems kind of manipulative in here, and they're not really, like... Whew, that one's loud. They're not really, like, saying exactly what had happened, or if it was physical or all just verbal. But I guess they have said it was physical in the past, so, like, they're probably... It's probably, like, both. Oh, yikes.
It was just a lot. In my brain, I was thinking, there's no way Brady got out. We're good. You know, it's like one of them things. But it was the next day when I was like, something really just does not seem right. I haven't seen Verity all day.
And now let me explain the timeline. So our huge argument happened wee in the morning. I mean, I'm telling you, it was like 5 a.m., 4 a.m., like around that time, I would say. And Emily has a massive house, and a lot of the cats, like her cat Daniel, Princess, Wasabi, Rarity, they all like to be in the basement. That's where they went to the bathroom.
Yeah, it's interesting she says that's where they liked to be, and then she'll say that's where all their stuff is. So I wonder if they just, like, kept the cats in the basement, basically, and they weren't allowed out or something into the rest of the house. So I'm thinking, why would you have to put a gate up? Don't know. I don't think they're being fully transparent on what was going on with the pets, but it's not going on anymore, so it's all right. Meaning we don't really have to know. It's not all right if they were, like, you know, not mistreating them or something, but...
Eat down there, they would play down there, they would just hang out down there. That's where they like to chill. They had free roam of the whole place, but that is where they were a lot of the time. And also her cat Wig. So that's like the place where they like to go. So normal pattern of the day is a lot of the time, like, you didn't see a cat. You didn't see a cat because they were all hanging out doing their damn thing at the basement.
Okay, but they had free roam of the house, and then in the message says Princess is out. So I don't know. Let's let her continue.
That's just what they did, because they had, like, a cute little cat door for the basement. It was actually really adorable. And, you know, it was a normal pattern. You know, I wouldn't really see Rarity throughout the day. It would be later at night. She would pop out, you know, follow me around, eat food from the kitchen, get some water from the kitchen, whatever it may be. And I noticed that normally at the time when I would see her, I didn't see her. I was like, that's weird. Like, throughout the day, I'm thinking, okay, like, she's probably in the basement. It was just normal, everyday life. Nothing seemed off. And then it was, like, around the time where, like, you know, the cats start to come out. They're, like, coming up to the living room or the bedroom, starting to just venture out a little bit more. I was like, it's weird. I've seen most of the cats today, but I haven't seen Rarity. And that's when I was like, what the heck? So I went down to the basement and I didn't see her. And I was like, this is confusing. I'm calling her name. I'm going to floor number 1, floor number 2, floor number 3, floor number 4. And I'm like, why isn't she coming out? I mean, if I say Rarity one time, she comes to me. Like, that, she was glued to my hip. But since she had such free roam of such a huge house, she took her favorite spot and she loved to be there. That was the basement. So when I noticed, okay, she's not coming to me, like, I'm shaking treats, she's not coming to me, something is not right. That is when I messaged Emily, because the pattern was then broke. That's when I was like, what is going on? So the fact that, like, Emily is, like, turning this into, I don't know if she, like, let her out on purpose, when you know you let her out because you left the door open, is sick. Whew. Snowflake says, well, that doesn't look good. In his head, he's like, that looks great. That looks amazing. Like, that looks so good. He's probably thinking in his head, I'm gonna get that money. And then he said, she made a couple videos crying about Rarity. Were you off screen watching this, and what did you think? Because her acting is shit. I've always thought I didn't buy she was genuinely sad. I wish I still had the original videos, me editing out my actual breakdowns missing Rarity.
She just wanted to venture out. I know she just wanted to see. No. Like, I don't know where the she is, and it's been just like literally sorry.
And oh my god, Emily, your response, I swear to God, I have kept my mouth shut about so many things. I'm not trying to be threatening, but if your response does not show how much I love Rarity and how heartbroken I was that she was missing, I was literally tormented every single day, then I know you're a shit person, the shit person I've ever known in my fucking life. Let's see your response. I was home for a few of them that she filmed. It was always after a fight between her and I. I think she wanted to take advantage of the tears and the crying and put it on camera. You're insane. I have never experienced someone like you in my life. I even asked her why you would film right now if you're this upset. And of course, Snowflake has to go, oh yeah, she's smashing YouTube. I am smashing YouTube. Thank you. Emily wanted me to smash her. Literally. Emily goes, a person
literally, she says, and we've seen a picture of Emily laying underneath Colleen's belly.
watch so many. I have to really hurry up. A person can only watch so much about Legos choosing the occasional bingo session before boredom sets in. She really doesn't do a lot of anything. I'm never bored. That's one thing I am. Never bored. Snowflake says, I always thought her Rarity videos seemed fake. Well, so did everyone, not just me. They weren't fake. They were real. And guess what? You both are dancing with the devil. You're both the devils. You're both devils. Emily replies, usually when she knows she's in the wrong but doesn't want to admit it, she's over the top and extra dramatic about things, and she was definitely over the top. I'm dramatic and over the top when I know I'm right. Which I am right now. He says, well, what was she like in the following weeks or however long? Was she sad about Rarity? Did she talk about Rarity? Every day. Every day. We did talk about her because I was actively searching for her. Yeah. She literally made my mourning and my pain about her because I was searching for her. That's the only reason why we were talking about her. You're so dumb, bro. Oh, that feels good. Wow. She would say how much she missed her every once in a while, but she definitely handled it better than I would have ever if I lost my pet. Do you want to know what happened the first time it snowed? I had a full-fledged panic attack. Why? Because all I could do was think about Rarity. You want to know what her response was? Nothing. She sat on her phone and scrolled. So you know what I did? I turned over in bed and I started crying. I was crying. After my panic attack, I was like, holy f***, this bitch hates me. I was like, genuinely, she hates me. So I rolled over, I turned over in bed, and I was like, normally I would have been like, why aren't you comforting me? Like, what is actually happening? I rolled over, I turned over in bed, and guess what happened? Guess what happened? Full-fledged fight. Full-fledged fight. Because you know what she said to me? Are you crying again? That's what I dealt with. That's what I dealt with. That's what I dealt with. Yeah, I am crying. Because my cat could be in the snow, could be in the cold, could be dying. That's why I'm crying. That's why I had an anxiety attack. And who was there to comfort me? Nobody. Even though you were 1 centimeter away from me. That's how I spent my first snow day in Wisconsin. That's the type of person I was with. But I hated myself so much I thought I deserved it. She would cry sometimes, but she didn't cry like she's on camera about her. Liar. I definitely feel like she was a huge distraction from the big fight that ever happened. It seemed to blow over fast, and it should have. I wanted to keep it civil while she was here while we were looking for the cat. I wanted to keep it civil, blah, blah, blah. Then she tried signing up for therapy, blah, blah, blah. We would argue on and off, though. She was actually trying to minimize her tantrums. I never minimized my tantrums. Never. I had bought those tickets for her. All this happened. They're really expensive. And because they were a premium seat, I couldn't resell them. I knew how much it meant for her to see Billy, so I took her. I tend to forgive too easily. I guess you forgive too easily. You?
Oh my gosh. So it sounds like Emily wanted to break it off before they went to the concert together. Oh, yikes.
You? You're literally stabbing me and I'm apologizing to you for getting blood on your floor.
Okay, yeah. We need a pinky in the air like Foodie. Then when Elizabeth like, oh, I like a good Foodie rage. I was like, oh yeah, she puts the pinky in the air when she's really serious about something.
You forgive too easily. What did I do to you? What did I do to you? Snowflake says, how did you get her to leave eventually? Because she told us she left because she was a grown-up and had an apartment or some nonsense.
What was the real reason you went back to Oklahoma and didn't stay in Wisconsin? Because I have a whole ass apartment. I have a whole life here. I love my apartment. I love living alone in a responsible way. I belong here right now.
Yeah, that was because I didn't want to say the truth. I was in a relationship and I didn't want to deal with it anymore. I was super depressed and I was miserable. People were saying that. Zachary Michael, hi. Hey. Zachary Michael would constantly say how miserable I looked in Wisconsin. Well, I mean, he does work at the Amberlynn Reed factory, so he does know me pretty well. And he saw that. He saw that.
The Amberlynn Reed factory. That's where we work. That's crazy. We usually call it the Amberverse or Gorl world.
Deny it and deny it and deny it and deny it. Because who wants to admit that they're going through that? Not me. Not me. Also, again, while it's in my head and I'm awake, but driving her home wasn't all sunshine and rainbows. Actually, it was great. It was great. We argued in the beginning because she's insane. She was so awful to me in the beginning of the car ride. It was crazy. We had decided that we were going to stay together, but we were going to do a long distance relationship because I couldn't do it anymore. I could not be in Wisconsin anymore. And I was going to give her another chance.
So that is why we're currently in a long distance relationship, but I do see us moving in together in the future.
Oh man, she looked like she had to force that answer.
Our last morning together, I thought it was going to be good, but she was so mean to me. She even admitted finally after the argument, she was like, I shouldn't have been like that. She does this thing where she either disassociates, where she literally is like checked out completely, or she is awful to me. She chose awful. But then after the argument, it was really good. The whole car ride was really good. We sang, we ate, we had a good time. Genuinely, the car ride was good. So let's see what she says. She couldn't keep her normal behavior for too long before.
They sang and they ate. Well, yeah, and what was it, 19, it says here, 19-hour car drive. You're probably gonna eat, yeah, but Amberlynn sees it as a form of entertainment.
True self came out again. That's you. And we started arguing all the time. I finally got to the point where I couldn't take it anymore and told her she's going back home. I drove her back home to Oklahoma myself instead of waiting for her mom to come to it. I don't know why she was so insistent on making it seem like it was her decision, because it was.
I don't want to talk about this, but I was in Wisconsin and I chose to come home myself because I love living by myself. Like, genuinely, Tommy didn't want me to leave. Tommy said I am welcome there forever.
I drove 19 hours straight though and flew home the next day. It took that long because of all the stops she had to take. Emily, that's part of your kink. The stops we had to take was due to my size. And you loved my size. You loved my legs. You loved my legs. So I don't know why you have to like throw.
Man, that was creepy. But yeah, this is another instance of like Emily complaining about Amberlynn's size, but it's like, that's what you signed up for. So like, what do you expect? I totally believe that she says mean things. Well, we know, we've seen it. She says mean things about Amberlynn and about her size. And I'm like, I think she's ashamed of her kink and like takes it out on whoever she's with at the time, like Emily. Like, it's weird.
Shade when like low-key you love that, so that's cool though. That was the longest drive of my life, figuratively and literally. Interesting. Within the first hour of the drive, she was screaming at me so much that Twinkie freaked out and jumped under my feet of the driver's side floor. That didn't happen. I was driving on the highway and I had to pull over because she won't come out. What the f? That never happened. I don't even remember what she was mad at me about. We argued. We did argue. We absolutely did, because you were rude to me the whole morning. Awful. Like I said, she would wake up and rage out of nowhere, out of genuinely nowhere. I think it was a comment over me getting to choose the music on the radio since I was driving that long and she wanted to choose to listen to. Had nothing to do with music. We had a literal playlist on Spotify that had both of our music combined. What are you talking about? After she was back home, she tried bringing me back in, saying she was going to therapy and actually working on it, and maybe the distance would help be good, and eventually we'd be together again after the fighting. We had a lot of on and off again. Every time I tried to cut things off, she'd always have some sort of hell scare to bring me back in. Sorry, I have to hurry because literally my mom's going to be here soon. You know what's crazy? Literally the morning after, she messaged me, I want you home again. It's so sad not having you here. I miss you so much. I want you next to me. All sweet and mushy gushy bullshit. Snowflake, she's done that into years. She found out some big drama and then turned like, also poor Twinkie.
Okay, so Amberlynn's in a hurry. So she's not really reading Snowflake's messages here, but he said she's done that on YouTube for years. Gets found out or has some big drama and then returns with, oh, hey guys, I have a new health issue. And also poor Twinkie, man. Anytime I've seen that dog on camera, they look terrified. I know why now.
Poor Twinkie, I love Twinkie more than anything in this world. I love my pets more than I love myself. Point blank, period. Anytime I see that dog on camera, they look terrified. Twinkie is a Chihuahua. Chihuahuas are the most anxiety-ridden dogs that there is. I think she's laying in bed. Usually she's right here. Twinkie loves me and she is not afraid of me. But Chihuahuas are the most anxiety dogs there is. When I first got Twinkie, she would puke in the car. She would shake in the car. She would shake constant ad nauseum, no matter what was happening around her. She would shake near a broom. She would shake near a vacuum. She would shake when someone walked up behind her, and guess what she does not do anymore and hasn't done for years? Any of those things. She loves her mama, and I love her too. Snowflake, shut the f up. Beard infested, crazy. And then he goes, I probably remember wrong, but I'm sure Amber said she was on FaceTime with you when she was in a store with her mom. What? When you ended it? How did you end it and how did she take it? You make no sense. That never happened. I don't even know what that means. Let's see what she said. Both her pets would get scared during a tantrum. I felt so bad for
Yeah, okay, so Emily says here that both of her pets would get scared during a tantrum, meaning Wasabi and Twinkie. Not really mentioned much about Rarity at this point. Maybe the tantrums came after Rarity went missing. Either way, the animals were not having a good time there.
Oh my God. My mom's literally gonna be here in 13 minutes. I need to get ready. I was gonna like touch up my makeup. I might just bring it with me. She's referring to about being in a grocery store. I had to end it a multitude of reasons. She obviously didn't take it well. When we broke up, before she decided to do this little weird thing with Snowflake, it was because I said, leave me the f alone. I expressed to her how I felt about something and she gaslighted me. She made me feel like I didn't deserve to have feelings. That is what happened. So
you know what? I'm a fucking Snowflake. But if you share a video, which I have never shared screenshots of, if you share a video of me during a BPD meltdown where I'm half naked due to your betrayal, that's when suing will happen. Absolutely.
sometimes she's civil and sometimes she's absolutely unhinged. What makes me unhinged, Emily? What makes me unhinged?
Kadia, not the chilies. Okay, so Amberlynn didn't read some of this. Emily says there was a lot of threats made. Okay, so after she obviously didn't take it well. There was a lot of threats made of trying to ruin my life if I said anything publicly of her online. She still tries to reach out to me. Sometimes she's civil and sometimes absolutely unhinged. She still tries to reach out to me. Like, Emily's making it seem like they're broken up and not talking anymore and that it's all Amberlynn trying to get back with Emily. That's what it seems like Emily's trying to tell Snowflake here. But, I mean, Amberlynn wouldn't keep trying if Emily wasn't at least nice to her sometimes and answering back. And yeah, we know they're talking because they said they agreed not to talk about each other, so they'd have to talk to each other for that. Also, I think in one of Amberlynn's live streams on Tuesday, because she went live a couple times because it was messing up, but one of them she had said that that she's talking to Alexis again.
Your lies, your deceit, your betrayal, your cruel words, you're mean. You are mean-spirited. You're a mean person. She did a lot of threatening anytime she felt like she didn't have control of the situation. I'm so worried she's going to totally lose it when she finds out I talked to you. Because you know me. You know when you do things that hurt me, I lose it. You worked in the mental health field, Emily. You worked with BPD patients. You would constantly tell me, like, Amberlynn, you are straight up BPD. You would tell me that constantly. You knew what triggered me. You never did a single thing to help calm me. Ever. You would purposely do things to trigger me. It reminded me of that video of Megan, and that's heartbreaking. Maybe she was just rough on me and I didn't put her in the limit.
Okay, so she also didn't want to read this one out loud. After Emily said, I'm still worried she's going to totally lose it once she finds out I talked to you. She says, when I watched that Beck and Destiny collab, I was shocked at the similarities. Unless they're not giving all the details, I feel like she's gotten worse since then, not better. And then Amberlynn picks it up at, maybe she was just rough on me because I didn't put up with her crap or fall for her manipulation.
Okay, so most of this is just...
Okay, so she doesn't want to read the rest of it. I do feel drained too. It's not a time I like to think about or remember. It's all a lot. What do you mean it's not a time you want to remember? Like, you're still in it. You're still in it. That's crazy that she would, like, make it seem like, oh, yeah, we haven't been together for months and I'm ready to talk now. But they're literally, like, still in a relationship. They're probably still in a relationship today. If not an official one, they literally probably still have some type of communication relationship, you know? So then Emily says, I appreciate you respectfully listening to what I have to say so I can share my side of the story and not let her control the narrative.
Okay, thank God. I was able to end it. Yay! And in this moment, I wish more than anything I could talk to your ex, Megan. Megan, if you are watching this or if someone knows Megan, have her talk to me. I would do anything to talk to you. Because at this point, I don't know. Anything just to speak to you personally. I will never share anything, but I need someone who understands because this is crazy. And I want to let everyone know that, like, the random, like, video recordings that she would do of me, she also did it to Megan while Megan was naked. And I've seen it with my own eyeballs.
See, I am lost. I don't know what happened with Megan. Yeah, not quite sure what happened there. I think I missed that part of the story. But yeah, so Amberlynn's saying that she wants to talk to this Megan girl now. So I just thought it was interesting. I left those I wanted to show those clips at the end of our video here. Debs, hello, welcome. Okay, so we have just a little bit left, not much.
I've seen it with my own eyes. Emily would push and push and push Megan until Megan would react the same way I did. When I first saw this video, this was before any, like, betrayals or anything like that. And I was, like, looking, and I'm like, damn, this Megan girl, like, what the hell? What's her problem? And then I understood. And then I saw myself in Megan. Would I ever hold someone at gunpoint? No, that's crazy.
Okay, so yeah, just right there. I think that might have been what happened with Megan and Emily. I don't know the whole story. That's all that Amberlynn really said there about it. So that's part of the story. So that's probably what Emily meant earlier when she said that she didn't want it to get as bad. And that, if she said with Amberlynn.
That's crazy. But I'm saying, when Emily recorded Megan, and I first saw that video, I saw Megan as one way. And then when I finally understood, I saw myself in Megan, and I was like, fuck. I get it. Like, why does...
Okay, so she's making it sound like Emily would, like, wind her up and, like, just say things to get a reaction out of Amberlynn. And then when she got that reaction, she turned on the camera and wanted to videotape Amberlynn breaking down. That's what it sounds like anyway.
Why does this have to happen? Why couldn't it just been a good relationship? Why couldn't it just been good? You guys, I'm an actual boomer at this. Oh, Boomerlyn Reed, stop. Okay, listen. Can someone please help me? I've never been more excited in my life. Oh my God. And I'm on Hinge as right now. Sorry. The truth hurts. I don't know what to say about it. I'm on Team Emily.
You know how I like to put the funny ones in at last. At the last of the videos. Yeah, so that's our video for today. Oh my gosh, Elizabeth. So she knew and lied, and even had the nerve to add a domestic abuse hotline at the end of her video. And all of this is going on. Yeah. Oh no. Yeah, Katie, you're right. She makes it very hard to have any type of empathy for her. Yeah. Well, they're very well matched, Emily and Amberlynn, that's for sure. Elizabeth, yeah, her face is how we feel about this whole video. My goodness. uh, I think I have a video that I wanted to go over another day too, and I'm not exactly sure what was in it. But it was one that Jordy did, and it was messages from someone that is knew Emily. Let me see where that was, because I thought it was kind of interesting. Okay. Right. Okay, yeah. So it is, I wanted to go over that because I don't think I did, but it was Emily was dating someone that was married, and this couple worked with Emily, and then this person left their wife for Emily, and then was in a toxic relationship with Emily, and the wife or ex or whatever was going on there with them talked to Jordy about that situation and said that it's whatever was going on with her partner and Emily is probably what's going on with Emily and Amberlynn. So I thought I wanted to yeah, so I just wanted to look over that video. Maybe we'll go over that another time. Acadia, interesting. Aunt Tammy might be spilling some tea. I wouldn't doubt it, but it'd be really kind of surprising because she actually has like a relationship with Amberlynn at this point in real life. And even if she doesn't, she still wants a relationship with her sister. So she's probably not going to want to start fights with Amberlynn. Kicking up the old drama train again 10 years later, basically. But, oh my goodness, Aunt Tammy. Elizabeth, should we spending all this money on Torrid and Lego? Target haul. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Katie, I don't know what Emily's doing, but I'm sure we'll find out soon. Yeah, because she'll be online talking to people, because I don't know, if you hit up Emily in the DMs, she might message you back on Instagram. But then you're just playing with fire, but I guess if that's what you're into. Yeah. So that's the latest drama, I guess, with Amberlynn. She's kind of saying, okay, now we're gonna try to be quiet again and low-key have a relationship. It just blew up because Emily chose to make this public, so I had to react, is kind of Amberlynn's reasoning for coming on and talking about this. Elizabeth. You know what? She really could be. Maybe Emily's trying to kick up some more views for Amberlynn, so they know that if they go through a messy breakup, that's what'll do it. Make Amberlynn some more money. Emily's cleaning up all those earrings so they can try to sell them all. Oh. Well, I think that might be it for today. It was nice catching up. It's been a week, I think, since I've been live. It took a while to make this video. I had to throw the babysitter bandit in there because she really is just like taking care of Amberlynn and then goes in and takes everything from her. No, she's not that bad, but I was just being silly because it's fun. Because why not? I mean, we gotta make fun of it, right? Or like make the situation light and fun, because if not, we'd just be like probably stewing in all of this dysfunction and chaos that Amberlynn's just throwing out there into the world. But, you know, we don't have to deal with it personally, so it's fun just to watch it. Watch it go down. Oh no. Elizabeth, do you think that it was Emily who was doing the merch stuff and then it stopped, huh? I haven't really paid attention to what Amberlynn's been doing on her side hustles. Was it Foodie who was doing cameos again, I think? Oh man. Foodie is another thing. We could do a live stream on what Foodie's doing, but it's really not that exciting. She's moved again. On the move again. Oh my gosh. She travels quite a bit. Yeah, alright, well. Yeah, Elizabeth, you're right. We just gotta poke fun at it. Makes it easier to digest it, you know? I think that's all I wanted to really talk about today, though. Just watch the video and stuff. I gotta eventually start these timeline videos up again. We're gonna do May of 2018. But yeah, I was working on this video this week. Katia, if you're looking for some foodie stuff that I did, oh man. Well, my audio sucks for all my older streams, but on my other channel, Positive PR Goes Live, that I still put some stuff on there sometimes. That one I did some foodie live streams. So we watched like throughout her all of her story times where she was like telling her childhood, her teen years, high school years, like after high school. So like we went through all of them, and then all of her crazy lover stories, meeting Pete's and then meeting BB. And I think that's as far as I made it was Pete's. And then I'm like, I have the project going in my studio with Foodie and BB and like just all this footage of them together. But I haven't touched that one in a while. But yeah, I was doing that kind of series on my other one. All right, I'm gonna shut down the live stream now. But it was great chatting with you guys and hanging out for a little bit. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and yeah, I'll see you again soon. Have a good one.